This is ChestertonRadio.com.
And here's the cinnamon bear.
Let's see what's happening to Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear. We left them at the bottom of Looking Glass Valley, where their airplane was forced down after Weary Willie, the stork, punched a hole in the fuel tank and gulped all the soda pop gas. If you remember, this made them very sad, especially because Weary Willie threatened to tell the Crazy Quilt Dragon that they were chasing him. And they were even sadder when Cinnamon Bear told them there was no way to get out of the valley.
I just know we'll never get the silver star back from Crazy Quilt. And if we don't have it to put on top of our Christmas tree...
Look, Cinnamon Bear, aren't there tools or something in the plane that we could use? You know, to cut steps in the sides of a valley like the alpine mountain climbers do in ice.
I thought of that, Jimmy, but this looking glass is very, very hard, and it won't crack no matter what. I guess there's only one thing for us to do, children.
What's that?
Wait until it rains.
But I don't see what that will do to help us get out of here, Cinnamon Bear.
That's just because you've never been in Maybeland before. You see, when it rains here, it rains soda pop.
I see what you mean. Then we'd be able to fill up the airplane and fly out just the way we came in.
Exactly.
But when is it going to rain?
Oh, me, oh, my. That's something I didn't think about. It might rain tomorrow, and again, it might not rain until the next 4th of September.
Well, we can't wait around for a soda pop rainstorm. I wish I knew something magic to say that would just scoot us right to the top of that cliff.
Look, Cinnamon Bear, here comes Weary Willie, that bad old stork.
So it is. And I must say he has a nerve coming back after drinking up all our soda pop gas.
As soon as he gets close enough to hear me, I'm sure going to tell him a thing or two.
Oh, don't do that, Jimmy. I have a better idea. He's an awfully conceited person, and if we flatter him a bit, maybe he'll feel ashamed of himself and help us get out of here.
Hello, below!
I'd like to punch him in the beak.
Don't talk so loud, Jimmy. Remember what Cinnamon Bear said.
Yeah, we must be very, very polite.
I say, hello, below!
I'm sorry we haven't any more soda pop, Weary Willie. Both for your sakes and ours. We're stuck here and we can't get out.
By Jove, I'm deucedly unhappy to hear that, old man. In fact, I'm rather saddened to think that I was instrumental in causing your downfall. But I was confoundedly thirsty, you know, and when I'm thirsty, it brings out all the primitive in me.
I don't exactly know what you mean, Mr. Stork, but whatever it is, I hope you feel better now.
Oh, I feel ripping, absolutely ripping. In fact, I feel so ripping that I should like nothing better at the moment than a good rousing game of ping-pong. Are any of you ping-pong-minded?
No, we don't feel like it at all. Besides, we don't have anything to play it with.
Oh, so we don't. It's just as well, too, because I'm a bit sloppish at ping-pong anyhow. For some reason, I always ping when I should pong and vice versa.
Well, Mr. Stork, I suppose you did what you said you would and told that Crazy Quilt Dragon that we were chasing him to get the silver star back.
By Jove, I did. I've such a beastly rotten temper at times. I was provoked because you wouldn't give me a lift. I just went stork mad for a moment, but I'm terrifically sorry, really. You've no idea how sorry.
Lots of good that does us now, Weary Willie.
I have it. I'll fly you out of Looking Glass Valley.
That'll be grand of you, won't it, children?
You bet.
Let's go.
Very well, then. How will we manage it?
Let me see now. Do you think we could all get on your back?
Oh, of course. I've a strapping physique, you know. Played rugby and all that. Oh, yes. I can carry all three of you without batting an eye.
Well, let's hurry, please.
By all means, by all means. Shan't delay a jot longer. Now, I'll kneel me down and you may all ascend.
You go first, Judy.
All right. I'm on.
And now you, Jimmy.
Okay. There, all set.
Now me.
All aboard, Patio Cinnamon?
All aboard, Willie.
Then hold on tight. The hop up to the top of the cliff will be most grueling for me. I'll have to exert every last ounce of my marvelous strength there. Are you ready, my friends?
Ready.
Then we're off. Pip, pip.
Whee! Isn't this wonderful?
Gee, we're climbing way up to the top.
We've made it. Congratulations, Willie.
Oh, don't mention it. It was nothing.
Thank goodness we got out of that valley.
Can you see the Crazy Quilt Dragon anywhere, Judy or Jimmy?
No, I can't. I guess he got tired of looking at himself in Looking Glass Valley and went someplace else.
Oh, dear. Where do you suppose he went?
Oh, according to my recollection of Crazy Quilt's habits, he's apt to be taking a siesta at this hour.
What does he mean, Jimmy?
I don't exactly know. But I'll bet Cinnamon Bear does.
He means that about this time every day, Crazy Quilt generally takes a nap.
Righto. And if I may enlarge upon my statement, he frequently takes his siesta in the vicinity of the root beer ocean.
Could you take us there, Willie?
Oh, it would give me untold joy to do so, my friend. I feel it incumbent upon me to make amends for my caddish conduct this afternoon. How would you like to have me fly this time, fast or slow?
Oh, fast, Mr. Stork.
As fast as you can. We just got to catch up with Crazy Quilt.
Righto. Here we go. Pip, pip.
When you fly fast, you really fly fast, don't you, Willie?
Oh, but definitely. Some call me the Streamlined Stork.
And you sure brought us to the right spot, Mr. Stork. There's Crazy Quilt right over there. And he's sound asleep.
And look, he's got the silver star right under his nose.
Aha, the villain has been brought to bay. We'll just hand him the surprise of his life.
Pardon me, my friends, but may I be of any further service?
No, thank you, Willie. It's been most kind of you to carry us here.
You were wonderful, Mr. Stork. Thanks a million.
Oh, not at all. After my unmitigated thirst caused you to make a forced landing in an inaccessible locality, it was little enough for me to make amends in a small manner in which I have.
And it was very big of you.
And as a final favor, will you allow me the pleasure of sending you an autographed copy of my latest travel book? It's bound in purple alligator skin, printed on
I'd be
vellum.
thrilled to death. Just send it to Paleo Cinnamon, General Delivery, Wintergreen Forest.
Oh, but I didn't finish telling you
Thanks
about...
a lot, Willie. You've been a brick.
Oh, yes, so I have. Well, I must pop along now, my dear friends, and I wish you success in your endeavor.
Goodbye.
Pip, pip.
So long, Willie.
Well, that's over. He sure talked a blue streak.
Yeah, but he turned out to be a big help after all. Now let's surprise Crazy Quilt. I see he's still snoozing away over there.
How we do it, Cinnamon Bear?
Well, he's right near the cliff overlooking the root beer ocean. So the thing to do is to close in on him from three sides. Now, Jimmy, you take that side, Judy the other, and I'll walk straight at him.
All right. Come on.
Isn't it exciting, Jimmy?
Not too loud or you'll wake him up. When we get near enough, one of you can snatch the silver star from under his nose.
What's that?
Oh, dear, it's one of those military-minded mosquitoes, and he's making right for Crazy Quilt.
What goes on here?
Willikers. He bit Crazy Quilt right on the nose and woke him up.
And just when we were about to get our silver star.
We'll have to try something else. Hey, you, Crazy Quilt.
I'm very busy right now, Cinnamon Bear. I'll speak to you some other time.
He's trying to run away. Close in on him, children. Come on, let's go now. Hurry up. Get over this over there. That's it. We got him backed up right on the edge of the cliff.
Why, I don't understand. What does all this mean?
You know what it means, Crazy Quilt. We've got you this time.
Where's our silver star?
Silver Star? What Silver Star?
Don't try to quibble, Crazy Quilt. Hand it over gratefully and you can go your way.
Oh, what a terrible mistake you've made. Why, I've never seen this Silver Star you're talking about. You must have the wrong party.
You have too got it. I can see it even if you are trying to hide it. It's our silver star, and we've got to have it to put on top of the Christmas tree.
You stole it out of that trunk and you know it.
What? Oh, come. You think I would do such a wicked thing as steal? Oh,
You still insist that you didn't take it, Crazy Quilt?
I repeat, I have not seen it.
We'll have to scare him. Let's go.
Well, scram, you bad dragon.
Scat, skidoo.
Oh, how funny.
Garah!
Boo!
Oh, help. Oh, don't help us.
He's slipping over the edge of the cliff. He fell into the ocean. Right into the root beer ocean. Quick, we'd better run down so we can head him off when he comes out of the water. Come on.
Hurry up, Judy. I'm coming.
We get him. He can't escape this time. There. He's just coming up on the beach.
Oh, I'm so unhappy. Such unkind people to say boo to a Crazy Quilt dragon. Don't you know you should never do that?
Why shouldn't we?
Well, I'll tell you.
Don't ever say boo to a Crazy Quilt dragon in hopes he'll turn tail and run. There aren't many words that will make him go crazy, but boo is decidedly one. You can say cheese it or scat if you please, it will certainly bother him none. Now shoo or skidoo, sir, would not be taboo, sir, but booing is just never done. Don't ever say boo to a crazy quilt dragon. No, never, not even in fun. Remember, a crazy quilt's colors are fast and are guaranteed never to run.
That was very pretty, Crazy Quilt, but you did run. So I guess you aren't as guaranteed as you think.
Oh, but I didn't run. I jumped. Go ahead and laugh. Oh, I suppose I deserve it for giving way to my basest self. But if you only knew how weak I am when something beautiful and shiny attracts me. So when I found the silver star...
You mean when you stole it?
Well, if you want to put it that way. Oh, I would never have taken it if I'd known how much it meant to you. May I apologize and ask your forgiveness?
You mean you're sorry, Crazy Quilt?
Of course, little girl.
And you won't ever do it again?
Oh, never, never, never.
That's fine. Now everything will be hunky-dory if you'll just return the silver star to us.
Of course, only...
Only what?
Only it dropped out of my mouth when I jumped off the cliff, and it's lost in the root beer ocean.
Well, they've got the Crazy Quilt Dragon all right, but they haven't got the Silver Star. It looks like a lot of strange adventures are in store for Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear before they retrieve their lost treasure. So let's be sure to listen next time and see what happens.
You are listening to Chesterton Radio at chestertonradio.com.
The Kraft Food Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. For everybody who loves mellow melt-in-the-mouth cheddar cheese, we have a piece of great news. It's about Kraft's natural cheddar called K-Brand. K-Brand is for folks who really get a thrill out of superb quality cheddar cheese. Remember the name K-Brand Natural Cheddar. And listen for more about this masterpiece in cheese making a little later on in the program. All is quiet in the Gildersleeve household on this December evening. The family has just finished dinner, and the great man is in his den resting his overstuffed figure in his overstuffed chair. His eyes are closing drowsily, when suddenly he sits up with a start. He's made a great discovery.
Say, Christmas is coming. And I haven't done my shopping yet. Well, by George, I'm not going to wait till the last minute this year. I'm going to do my shopping early. Tomorrow. Leroy, Marjorie.
What's the matter, Unky? You got indigestion again? Shall I get the baking soda?
No, I feel fine.
Then what's the matter?
Children, Christmas is coming.
Huh? Everybody knows that.
Well, anyhow, I've decided to do my shopping early this year, tomorrow.
You call this early? I started in November.
Well,
Oh, for corn's sake, Unc, didn't you get my model airplane yet?
Leroy, nobody said you were getting a model airplane, for sure. That's up to Santa Claus.
Santa Claus? Are you kidding?
No, my boy. You mustn't scoff at things like that. As long as we have the spirit of Christmas, there'll always be a Santa Claus.
You said it, Unc.
Remember that.
Sure. Unc.
Yes, my boy?
Santa Claus better get off the dime and get that model airplane before they're all gone.
Leroy.
Well, if that's all you wanted, I've got to finish addressing my Christmas card.
I'm going shopping tomorrow. Better make out a list. That's the efficient thing to do. Let's see now. Where's the pencil? I'll need some... Leroy, you may leave the room.
Want me to help you make out your list, Unc?
That won't be necessary.
Oh, it's no trouble. Glad to do it.
No, thank you.
Well, maybe you could put down the airplane first. It starts with A.
Leroy, I don't
They got some swell ones down at Hogan Brothers department store with gas motors. I've been down there trying them out all week. You know the kind I mean, huh, Unc?
Leroy, leave the room.
Okay, Unc, anything you say. But don't forget, the one with the gas motor.
Glad Christmas only comes once a year. Well, it is kind of nice at that. Well, I'll start my list with Judge Hooker. Let's see, how to get the judge something nice. I don't know, though. The old cheapskate never gets me much. Judge Hooker. 1 necktie, $1. There. That takes care of him. Now I'll write down for Marjorie. If I were a girl of 16, what would I want? Let's see. Funny, all I can think of is cigars.
Gildersleeve. Oh, I didn't know you were busy. Excuse me.
All right, Bertie, what is it?
Just got 1 cup of coffee left, and I thought I'd see if you wanted it before I dump it out.
No, thanks, Bertie. Too busy making out my Christmas list.
Oh.
Yep, doing my shopping tomorrow. You ought to do the same, Bertie. Don't put it off till the last minute.
Oh, you don't have to tell me, Mr. Gildersleeve. I did all my shopping 6 weeks ago.
Oh.
Got all my presents wrapped, sealed, and ready to deliver. I'm through.
I see.
Yes, sir. I ain't no put it off. I'm going to do it now. I'm through.
yes, Bertie.
Some people put things off, but not Bertie. I'm going to do it now.
Bertie, I didn't say
Yes,
that.
sir. I ain't no put it off.
Please forget I mentioned it.
You can wait till the last moment if you want to, but not me. I'm through. I'm going to do it now.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here now. Bertie, handbag. Leroy, model airplane. Marjorie. Well, got the whole afternoon ahead of me. Got my list all made out. Nothing to it. Don't see why everybody makes such a fuss about Christmas shopping. Well, look at that Hogan Brothers window. Santa's workshop. Pretty cute, all right. All those little fellows busy making toys. Wonder how they get them to move like that. Yeah. Oh, after you, madam. Pretty crowded in here. Guess everybody's doing their Christmas shopping early.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle.
Christmas carols over the loudspeaker. Oh, that's nice. Wonder where I should start first. Let's see. Where's my list?
Oh, floor walker.
Huh?
Floor walker, where's the notions department?
Why, I don't know. You see,
Christmas help. They never know anything.
Floor walker. Guess I should have worn my hat. Well, let's see. I'll look for Bertie's present first.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy.
Well, I see you got here all right. Toy department's on the 4th floor. Elevator's right over there.
I know that, Leroy.
I'd get right up there, Unc, before those model airplanes are all gone. Come on, I'll go with you.
Leroy, I didn't say I was going to get you a model airplane.
Oh, Unc.
Well, we'll see. Now run along. Go home and play with Piggy or something.
Oh, Piggy's down here, too. We're playing tag on the escalator.
Oh, my goodness.
See you later, Unc. And don't forget, the one with the gas motor.
That kid never lets me surprise him. Well, guess I'll go up and get him that model airplane now. Hey, there's the handbag table. Might as well get Bertie's. Too many women around here. I'll come back later. Take your life in your hands. There's the necktie counter. No crowd over there. Good time to get Hooker's necktie. Let's see. Where are the cheap ones? Down here. They look pretty awful. Well, they're good enough for the judge. I'll get him this one with the peppermint stripes. Make him look like a walking barber pole.
Well, hello, Gildy.
Hooker.
Kind of a spendthrift, aren't you, Gildy? Buying a $1 tie?
Well,
Christmas gift, I presume. Who's the unlucky person?
Well...
He'd have to be an awful fathead to wear a tie like that.
He is.
It'd look good on you, Gildy.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, Judge.
Wait a minute, Piggy. There's my uncle. Hey, Unc.
Leroy.
Leroy.
Hello. Unc, what are you doing down here? Didn't you go go see about my model airplane yet?
Leroy, I
Gee,
told
they're
you.
going to be all gone.
If you don't go away and quit bothering me, Leroy, I won't get you anything.
Okay, I'll forget I mentioned this. Only kidding. See you later.
Gildy, aren't you going to get the boy his airplane?
Of course I am, but I don't want him to know it.
Well, why don't you go up and get it now? I'll go with you.
Well, all right, Judge.
I believe it's on the 4th floor. Toyland.
I know.
Toyland, Toyland.
What?
Dear little girl and boyland.
Oh, brother, come on, Judge. You know, Judge, being up here takes me back to my own childhood. I used to love Christmas.
Yes, Gildy. I think I see the model airplanes right over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at these toy soldiers. I used to have a set of these when I was a kid. Fought some big battles on our kitchen floor.
Well, you're not a kid anymore, Gildy.
Hey, that electric train's a beauty. Look. We're going to go over that bridge. Just like a real one.
Gildy, we're up here to buy something for Leroy.
Watch this, Judge. I'll throw the switch and make her go through the tunnel. You see it? There she goes. Clear the tracks. Here comes the Cannonball Express. Toot, 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 toot.
Gildy, why don't you grow up?
Look at it, Judge. This is...
Now look what you did, Gildy. You jumped the track.
I know it. Hurry up, wheel horse. Help me put it back.
Can I help you two children?
Sorry, train went off the track. I'll put it back.
Don't bother. I'll put it back. Butterfingers.
I was looking for something for Leroy. That's my little nephew.
A model airplane.
Model airplane, just follow me.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve and Judge Hooker.
Mrs. Dalrymple.
Why, good afternoon.
Gentlemen, are you coming?
In just a minute, clerk.
I never expected to find you two up here in Toyland. Now, isn't that cute?
Well, the judge came up, too.
Oh, you men, you never grow up. You're all big, lovable boys. I've been shopping all day, and I'm simply exhausted.
Oh, you poor thing.
Why, that's a shame.
Oh, it's all right. Buying Christmas presents is really lots of fun. And I don't mind carrying all these heavy packages.
Could I carry them for you, Mrs. Dalrymple?
No, let me carry him.
Oh, I wouldn't want to put you gentlemen to any trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. I would deem it a pleasure.
Step out of the way, Judge. I'm stronger than you are.
I'll carry them, Gildy.
I'll carry him. You're too old.
You're too fat.
I'll Indian wrestle you for it.
Well, how about flipping a coin?
Coward.
Fatty face.
Oh!
Now, please don't quarrel over me. I know. We'll decide it this way. Whoever my finger points to last. My mother told me to take this one. It's you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Shucks.
I get to carry the packages. Here, let me take them.
All righty.
They are a little heavy.
Gildy.
What?
What about Leroy's airplane?
Well, I'll be back in a minute, Judge. Until I take these downstairs for you, Mrs. Dalrymple.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I just remembered. I would like to get one more thing.
You would?
Yes, I forgot to get a salad bowl for Cousin Effie. They're up on the 6th floor.
They are.
You don't mind, do you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, I don't mind.
I'll just put this salad bowl under your arm.
Oh, is that my arm?
There. Is that all righty?
Fine. Well, I guess we're ready to go.
Yes. Oh, well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I just thought of something else.
What's that?
I didn't get a bird cage for George.
Oh, yeah. Must get a bird cage.
They're down on the 3rd floor. You don't mind, do you?
No, I don't mind.
This bird cage can go on top of the other bundles. There. Are you comfy under there, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, very comfy, but I can't see.
Well, that's all righty. You just follow me. Oh, I just remembered something else. It's up on the 7th floor.
Up on the... Zook. Zeep. Zoink.
There. Well, now I'm finished.
So am I.
Isn't Christmas shopping fun?
Mrs. Dalrymple, can I take these packages out to your car now?
Didn't I tell you? I don't have my car. I was hoping that you'd drive me home.
Well, I wanted to.
Oh, thank you.
But...
I think you're just peachy.
But...
Hiya.
Leroy.
Gee, I didn't recognize you behind all those packages. Lucky I saw your stomach sticking out.
Yeah.
Gosh, did you buy all that stuff already?
Well,
I'll bet my model airplane's in there, huh?
Leroy,
Gee, you're swell. I'm best uncle a fella ever had.
Leroy, these aren't my packages. They're Mrs. Dalrymple's.
What?
You see, I started...
And you're not going to get my model airplane?
Leroy, I didn't have... Leroy, please.
You don't have to get it. I don't care.
Leroy. Leroy, don't cry, Leroy.
I'll run away from home.
Leroy, be Christmas.
Around Christmas, everyone likes to have plenty of special food treats on hand for Gala family snacks and for friends who come a-calling. And that's where Kraft's latest triumph, K-Brand Natural Cheese, is going to come in mighty handy. You see, K-Brand, that's K-A-Y, K-Brand is a natural cheddar cheese, and it's made from pasteurized milk. Yes, here's a good old cheddar with that beloved mellow flavor, that tender melt-in-your-mouth texture, yet it's made from milk that's carefully pasteurized.
Say, K-Brand does sound like a special treat.
It is. Just serve this natural cheddar to a real cheese expert and watch his face light up at the first taste. K-Brand natural cheese is pretty special in the way it's cured, too. Every big 10-pound bar is aged right in its own transparent wrapper, and it's still in that same sparkling clean wrapper when your dealer gets it. There's no cheesecloth or paraffin coating, no rind at all.
Then every bit of K-Brand is usable?
Every mellow good inch of it. Tomorrow when you shop, look for the big wrapped bar with the words K-Brand Natural marked down the top and side. Have your dealer cut you some slices, a thick portion, or a wedge. Then serve K-Brand in sandwiches with pie on your cheese tray. It's mighty good eating, folks. Remember, K-Brand Natural Cheese is made from pasteurized milk. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men, and the great Gildersleeve, often go astray. We find him now, footsore and weary, returning to Hogan Brothers department store. He makes a slight detour.
Well, hello, Commissioner.
Hello, Floyd.
What'll it be this afternoon, Shave?
No, thanks, Floyd. Haven't got time. Just want to rest for a minute.
Sure. Sit right down over there and take a load off your feet.
Thanks.
What's the matter, Commish? You look all in.
I am, Floyd. I've been Christmas shopping.
Oh, that's kind of hard on the arches, all right. I got a wash tub out and back if you want to soak your feet.
No, thanks, Floyd. Got to get back to Hogan Brothers.
Ain't you done shopping yet?
I haven't really started yet. I had a few interruptions.
Well, you got my sympathy, Commish. I wouldn't go into that pack of howling females for love or money.
It's got to be done, Floyd. You go Christmas shopping for your wife, don't you?
Not anymore, I don't. Not since that time I went shopping in Hogan Brothers on Christmas Eve.
Why? What happened?
Well, I got caught in a mob around the glove counter. Took me 2 hours to squeeze up to where I could buy a pair. And when I reached out for my change, some dame bit me on the hand. I can show you the scar.
Yeah, don't bother, Floyd.
So Lovey and me don't give each other presents anymore. When Christmas morning comes, we just slap each other on the back, holler Merry Christmas, and exchange $10 bills.
That's a fine Christmas spirit. Well, guess I better be getting back. I got lots to do yet.
Oh, don't rush off, Commish. You just got here. You ought to really take a rest.
Oh?
Sure. Why don't you come over and sit in the second barber chair for a few minutes? It's more comfortable.
Well, just for a few minutes, maybe. Yeah, this is better.
Here, let me tilt it back for you. No extra charge. There you are, all stretched out.
This is nice. Just close my eyes a minute. Can't stay long, though. Gotta get my shopping done. Gotta get Leroy's
Hey, Commish, wake up.
What do you want, Uncle Bungle?
Commish.
What's that? Where am I? Oh, Floyd. Why, it's dark out.
You slept a couple hours, Commish. Time to close the shop.
What? Let me out of here. I've got to get to Hogan Brothers before they close.
Hey, just a minute, Commish.
Huh?
You owe me $50.
What for?
While you was asleep in the chair, I give you a shave.
Floyd. Well, here you are.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Commish.
Haven't they found Bentley yet? Darn Floyd, letting me sleep like that. Lucky the store stays open till 7 o'clock tonight. Well, I better get Leroy's airplane first. Pardon me. I didn't mean to bump into you, young lady.
Oh, it's my fault.
No, it was mine.
I'm sorry. I'll hurry right back to my department.
All right. Huh?
I just went over to talk to a girlfriend of mine for a minute. She's in leather goods. I hope you don't mind.
Why should I mind?
Oh, aren't you a floor walker?
No. I just didn't wear my hat.
Oh, you see, I don't know much about the store. I haven't worked here very long.
I'm Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. I'm in charge of the water department.
What floor is that on?
No, I'm the water commissioner of Summerfield, one of the city officials.
Oh, how do you do? I'm Miss Clark in sheet music.
How do you do? I'm a music lover myself.
Here I am talking to a city official, and I thought you were a floor walker.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a floor walker on your floor.
Well, if you'll excuse me, sir, I'd better get back to sheet music.
Miss Clark, I'm on my way to the toy department. I'll walk over with you. It's right on my way.
All right, sir.
I'm not sir. I'm Mr. Gildersleeve to you.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I've enjoyed our interesting talk.
You have? Sure, so have I.
You know, they say you can always trust a man who likes music.
Well, I guess that's right.
Well, here's sheet music. Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Mr. Clark.
Yes?
As long as I'm here, I might as well look over some music. As long as I'm here.
Oh, of course. Go right ahead.
Let me see.
What kind of a song were you looking for?
Well,
Would you like me to play you a few?
Good idea. Glad you thought of it.
All right.
No, not that one. Don't you have something a little more romantic?
Would you like to hear my favorite?
Yes, indeed, I would. La-da-dee-dee.
My, you have a wonderful voice.
Well, some people have been known to like it.
I think it's wonderful.
Of course, I never took any lessons.
I'd love to hear you really sing sometime.
Well, I might sing just one chorus.
You mean now?
Well, if you insist. I'll just sit here with you on the piano stool.
I guess it's all right. I don't see the floor walker.
Who knows how much I love you? You do. No one means more to me than you do. You take December and smile it into May. And then December comes back again when you're away. Who has a charm that very few do? Who makes life necessary? You do. And who can take my dreams and make my dreams come true? Don't give me 3 guesses. One will do.
Look at all the people around.
Didn't know he had an audience. Guess I'd better be going.
Well, they liked it, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, well, just one more. My Wild Irish Rose, key G. My Wild Irish Rose.
Gildy.
Hello, Judge.
Mayor fire you, Gildy? This your new job?
See you later, Miss Clark.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Just a minute, Gildy.
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, so I noticed, Gildy. I see you haven't done any shopping yet. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Poor little Leroy.
I'm going up there, Horace, right now. Yeah, these escalators are all right. Nice, comfortable ride. Third floor. Now, just one more, then I'll... Peavy!
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for Mrs. Peavy. She's getting a beauty treatment over there. It's sort of a Christmas present to me.
Oh.
She's been in the beauty parlor all afternoon. Of course, it always takes a little longer with Mrs. Peavy.
Say, Peavy, while you're waiting, why don't you come up to the toy department? Help me pick out a model airplane for Leroy.
All right.
Come on, we ride up on the escalator.
If you don't mind, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'll take the stairway.
What?
I don't care much for escalators.
Peavy, you're not afraid to ride on one, are you?
Well,
Everybody rides the escalator.
Well, they can if they want to.
It's just a moving stairway.
I prefer a stairway that stands still and lets me do the moving.
But the escalator's faster.
I'm in no hurry.
Well, I am.
Then you take the escalator.
Peavy, you're an old woman.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Wait till I tell the Jolly Boys about this.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
Oh, yes, I would.
Oh, well.
Hey, come on. Just put your foot on the step.
The left one or the right one?
Ye gods, Peavy. Either one. Now step on it.
All right, here goes.
There, you made it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're moving. Not so bad, is it?
You know, Mr. Gildersleeve, I kind of like it.
Good.
Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, and it's up we go. Hey, this is very enjoyable.
Well, here we are. Step off now.
That was lots of fun. Let's go on up to the next floor.
I've got to get that airplane. Now, come on.
What kind of airplane are you going to get, Leroy, Mr.
I don't know. We'll kind of look them over. Oh, here we are. Oh, say, those are beauties.
Yes, they are.
May I help you? Oh, you.
Yes. Want to buy one of these model airplanes, one with a gas motor for my little nephew.
Very well. Now, this blue one here is one of our latest models.
Oh, looks like a real airplane, all right.
It's a high-speed fighter type. I'm sure your nephew would like it.
Yeah, I guess he would.
Very well. Shall I wrap it up?
Yeah, looks good to me. What do you think, Peavy?
Well,
don't you like it?
Yes, I like it.
Well, what's the matter with it?
Well, nothing, Mr. Gildersleeve, but if you don't mind my saying so, I prefer the red one over there.
The red one. Here you are.
Well, that's a nice one, too.
It's a medium bomber. Boys love these.
Oh, I guess that'll be all right.
Very well. Shall I wrap it up?
Yes, it won't trouble you. Go ahead.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh?
On second thought, I think Leroy might prefer the blue one.
You do?
The blue one, then?
Well, of course, the red one has its point.
Well, the blue one or the red one?
Peavy, which one do you think I ought to get?
Well, I don't know. Which one do you like?
You've got me so mixed up, I don't know either.
Well, I wish somebody would make up their mind.
Peavy, if you were Leroy, which one would you like?
Well, I'm not Leroy.
Oh, for heaven's sake. I'll make up my own mind. I'll take the red one. Clerk? Clerk, where are you going?
I'm going home. The store is closed.
But, Clerk, I've got to have that airplane.
No sales after 7 o'clock. Those are the rules.
But, Clerk, what am I going to tell Leroy?
You can tell him the store is closed.
15 days until Christmas, folks, and that means 15 days jam-packed full of gay Yuletide activity. When friends make Christmas calls, be ready with a tray of crackers and K-Brand natural cheese. It's Kraft's latest triumph, and what a triumph. You see, K-Brand is a natural cheddar cheese with that warm, mellow flavor, that tender, meaty texture, but made from pasteurized milk. That's right, carefully pasteurized milk. And what's more, K-Brand has no rind because it ages right in its own spick-and-span wrapper. Every bit is usable for holiday feasting. Tomorrow, look for the big 10-pound bar at your dealers. Have him cut you a portion, but be sure you see the words K-Brand Natural down the top and sides. Remember, this is the natural cheddar cheese made of pasteurized milk. The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It was written by Gene Stone and Jack Robinson with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
And, folks, when it comes to Christmas shopping, don't be a put it off, be a do it now. Good night.
For you folks who like that old American favorite, macaroni and cheese, here's a good suggestion. Get Kraft Dinner from your food store tomorrow. With Kraft Dinner, you can make macaroni and cheese that's fluffy light and downright delicious in just 7 minutes cooking time. All of the ingredients are in the package. Quick cooking macaroni and golden Kraft grated, enough to serve 4 people. They'll say that macaroni and cheese made with Kraft Dinner is grand. What's more, it costs only a few cents a serving. Look for the yellow and blue package, plainly marked Kraft Dinner.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
This is Chesterton Radio, your home for podcasts of works by G.K. Chesterton, plus drama, comedy, mystery, science fiction, big bands, and much more. The soundtrack to your Chesterton day at chestertonradio.com.
Don't turn that dial. This is the right station if you wish to hear about Jonathan Thomas and his Christmas on the Moon. Well, I guess you've heard what has occurred to Jonathan Thomas and Gus, but just in case, we'll find the place where it all began. You see, Jonathan Thomas was a wee little tad who was never too good or never too bad. And Gus was the bestest of all teddy bears. And one night, when they went away upstairs to bed, after his dad had said goodnight, and after his eyes had closed up tight, and 2 little elves slid down and looked around. Then Gus, that's the teddy bear, he opened his eyes, and what a surprise to see such guys from the moon. And then right soon he growled and growled and sort of howled till the elves were afraid and wouldn't have stayed for $1,000,000 trillion. And they turned about-faced, and away they raced, and Gus, he chased them up to the skies. And Jonathan Thomas, he heard their cries and opened his eyes and almost died with surprise and cried,
"Gus, come back!"
And then, without stopping to pack, not even his sneakers, and wearing nothing at all but just his sleepers, he chased after Gus. And he ran and ran, as only little boys can, until he came to the moon. But it seems he got there a little too soon, 'cause the terrible squibbobliums had broken the laws and kidnapped poor old Santa Claus. And then a merry old soul who was old King Cole held a court of the very worst sort. And Jonathan Thomas, he got the blame. Of course, he tried to explain that he just had came. That's not good grammar, but it rhymes with the line. And they told him they'd scold him and set him to boil and feed him 2 doses of castor oil, unless he minded the laws and brought back poor old Santa Claus. Poor Jonathan Thomas didn't know what to do. But then, neither would you if you were not you, but instead were Jonathan Thomas.
I want my Mommy and Daddy and Gus. Please, Mr. Man in the Moon, I want to go home.
My goodness gracious. How can you go home when you haven't found Santa Claus yet?
But I don't know where he is.
Oh, my, what a silly thing to say. Of course you don't know where he is. You couldn't find him if you did. How can you find someone unless someone's lost? You don't have to find the answer to that question until after you found Santa Claus.
Old King Cole said that the terrible squeebobulums had kidnapped Santa Claus and taken him to the land of Squeebobble. If I go there to find him, maybe they'll kidnap me, too, and gobble me up.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, but I don't want to be gobbled up. I want to go home.
Yeah. Oh, my gracious. There's someone at the door that makes me so sore I could rip and roar till my coat was tore. And what's more, quick. Think of another word that rhymes with door.
I don't know.
Of course not. I don't know rhymes with blow, show, go, and Joe. Oh, now it's a sin, and I'll have to say, come in. Oh, so it's you, is it?
Of course it's me. As you can see, I'm Little Bo Peep, and I've lost my sheep. And I can't find them, really I can't. I've left them alone, really I have. But they didn't come home. Have you seen them?
Of course not.
Oh, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Seems like everything on the moon is lost these days. Yesterday, Mr. Squeezle lost his temper. He hasn't found it yet. The day before that, the grandfather's clock lost an hour. And he still hasn't found it. If this keeps up, we'll all be lost pretty soon. And then where will we be? That's what I want to know. Where will we be?
I guess we'll be lost.
Yeah, well, why, of course, that's right. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I? Oh, but come. We'll have to hurry, or else we'll lose time. We'll have to find that, too. Oh, by the way, I've got a surprise for you, Jonathan Thomas.
Oh, I like surprises. What is it, if you please?
I just decided that I will go with you to find Santa Claus. Quote, if we both go, it'll only take half as long, unquote.
Oh, that's very kind of you, sir, because I would have been afraid to go by myself.
Oh, fiddlesticks. You don't have to go by myself to reach the land of Squeebobble. You have to go by the Rock Candy Bridge, over the Merry-Go-Round River, and then through the Canyon of the Three Dwarves.
Is it very far, if you please?
Oh, not so very. Only 1,000 miles or so. Why?
'Cause I'm little and you're big, and my legs aren't as long as yours, and my legs get tired quicker than anything.
Now, they couldn't get tired quicker than anything, because anything is always tired. And besides, we're not going to walk, we're going to ride.
Oh, that's nicer than anything. Otto?
Of course we ought to. If we didn't auto, we wouldn't have to, would we? And we'd better hurry or we won't find Santa Claus in time for Christmas. Yep. Come on, Jonathan Thomas. First, we have to go to the stable and get Gorgonzola.
Oh, who's he?
Why, he's my horse, of course, my beautiful horse. What else in the world could he be? The only one who can always run and never get tired of me. Yeah. Gorgonzola. A cheesy sort of a name. Yeah. He's got a red coat and he can run like a goat. Yeah. And sky blue is the color of his mane. Gorgonzola, here we come. Now, here we are, and there is Gorgonzola. Yep. Isn't he beautiful?
Oh, that's the funniest kind of a horse I ever saw.
Not so loud or he'll hear you and get his feelings hurt.
But he's the funniest color I ever saw. He's red and blue and green.
Of course he is. Haven't you ever heard of the horse of another color?
Oh, yes, because my daddy says that to my mommy sometimes. He says, that's a horse of another color.
Well, there he is. That's Gorgonzola. Now, come over here so you can meet him.
Does he talk?
Does he talk? Yeah. What a silly question. Of course he talks. Gorgonzola, I want you to meet Jonathan Thomas.
Hiya, J.T. How do you do?
I do as I please. And I don't give a sneeze because I... Oh, and I'm as happy as any horse can be. or I'm colossal. I'm stupendous, as you can plainly see.
Oh, yes, sir. Of course.
You better stand back, Jonathan Thomas. He's going into his dance. He does that every morning.
Oh, that'll be fun. I've never seen a horse dance.
Gorgonzola's my name. A cheesy name, but just the same, I'm a beautiful horse to see. For I'm stupendous, I'm colossal. I put all others to shame. For I'm a gorgeous horse, which you can see, and Gorgonzola is my name. Boy, oh boy, how do you like that, huh?
Oh, that was very nice, if you please.
Nice? That was colossal. It was super stupendous.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gorgonzola.
Well, all right. It's time for us to leave. For anybody knows, you can't go anywhere unless you leave.
I'm ready, if you please.
Say, where was we going?
Wait, don't you know?
Way to the land of Squee-Bubble, of course. To rescue Santa Claus, aren't we, Jonathan Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Why, to the land of Squee-Bubble. Why, that's moida. That's what it is. Plain moida. Why don't people tell me these things?
Didn't you know, Mr. Gorgonzola?
I didn't know nothing. I'm saying it's moida. That's what it is. Nothing but plain, unadulterated moida.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, listen, let's stop the arguing, Gorgonzola, and quit stalling in that stall. Well, you've got to hurry or we'll be late. And there won't be any Christmas then this year.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm with you. Put JT on me back, and let's go. Well, all right, Jonathan Thomas. Climb up on Gorgonzola's back. Yes, sir, we're about ready to go here. Now, come on, up you go there. That's it. Now, leg over. There, down. That's fine.
Oh. Don't let me fall off, will you, Mr. Gorgonzola?
I said, hang on. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, we're off to the land of Squee-Bubble. We'll run and we'll walk and we'll hobble. We'll never come back till we've taken a whack at the terrible land of Squee-Bubble.
We must hurry because we must find Santa Claus, or there'll be no Christmas this year. And things will be sad and much horribly bad, and people will cry. Oh, dear.
So we're off to the land of Squee-Bubble. We'll run and we'll walk and we'll hobble. We'll never come back till we've taken a whack at the terrible land of Squee-Bubble. We're off to the land of Squee-Bubble. We'll run and we'll walk and we'll hobble. We'll never come back till we've taken a whack at the terrible land of Squee-Bubble.
Well, there they go. Jonathan Thomas and the Man in the Moon and the beautiful horse of another color, Gorgonzola, down the road which leads to the terrible land of Squee-Bubble. But do you think they'll find Santa Claus in time? Well, we certainly hope so, don't we? And we'd better listen to the next episode and find out, hadn't we? Don't forget.
Needs the comfort and inspiration of religious faith, for it is faith which helps hold our families together, builds moral and spiritual character. And today, perhaps more than ever before, there's a need to turn to a way of life based on the enduring principles of religion. There are a great many programs of religious nature on NBC Radio, which you'll enjoy hearing this Sunday. Among them, The Art of Living, the National Radio Pulpit, Eternal Light, the Lutheran Hour, the Catholic Hour, and the Hour of Decision conducted by Billy Graham. These are but a few of the broadcasts that will bring you inspiration and comfort not only this Sunday, but on the Sundays to come. Of course, the Easter message will be the highlight event this week. We know you'll enjoy hearing them as a supplement to your visit to the church of your choice. And when you do go to church this Sunday, take the whole family with you.
This is Chesterton Radio, the true, good, and beautiful at chestertonradio.com.
The greatest story ever told. presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
He who has been called the Prince of Peace brought to this earth a new way of life built on kindness and goodwill. Today, the meaning of his message is more vital than ever before in the history of the world. The town of Bethany. On other days, a quiet, peaceful town. But today there's a great stir. For instead of accustomed hundreds, Bethany's streets are filled with thousands of people. And they are anxious people, awed by the presence of one about whom they have heard a strange, yet an incredible tale. Most of all, the people crowd around the temple, for he is there. And they are anxious to see him and hear him speak.
Let me through, sir. I must see him. Aye, they all say the same. There are more people in the temple today than I've ever seen before. All to see him.
I've heard he was actually raised from the dead.
Oh, you mean Lazarus. I thought you spoke of the Master.
I came to see Lazarus first. If it's true that Lazarus was raised from the dead, then I want to see the Master.
Lazarus was dead 3 days.
3 days? And he was brought back to life?
You can't disguise your wonder. Maybe you doubt, but I saw it. I believe. For Lazarus is a brother of Mary and Martha, whom I have known since childhood. I tell you, I saw it.
And is Lazarus inside the temple?
He is.
Then I must see for myself. Make way for me, please.
Oh, I'll stand aside. But people have come from Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth, from all over the land. They are as eager as you to see Lazarus and the Master.
I say, make way. Please, make way, please. I must see Lazarus.
Quiet, son. This is a temple.
Oh, yes. Which one is Lazarus?
He sits up there, on the platform.
Oh. It's a miracle. A miracle.
More than that happens here today. The Master has just spoken of eternal life.
Eternal life. Such a thing possible?
It's what he said. But there are people here who disbelieve, who question him.
But they dare to question one who has raised a man from the dead?
They'll try. But quiet now. The questioning is about to begin.
And now, the Master will answer all questions. Who would ask the first?
I would like to ask a question. Who is that man? Nathan, a very clever lawyer. And he is a bitter man. He doesn't believe Lazarus was raised.
You may ask your question, Nathan.
The Master has spoken of eternal life. And that is certainly an inviting prospect. If the taxes are ever reduced, am I right?
He's trying to heckle the Master.
Oh, he's a smart one, that Nathan. Now, there's only one small question I have to ask. What is the secret of this eternal life? Is it perhaps achieved by some magic brew compounded by the witches in the hills of Galilee? Can it be bought? Can it be earned? My question, Master, is this. What shall I do to inherit eternal life? Well?
That's a question filled with a great deal of malice.
Nathan knows how to ask such questions. But wait for the Master's answer.
My friends, we must have quiet. Nathan, would you repeat your question to the Master?
Oh, gladly. What shall I do to inherit eternal life?
What is written in the law? How do you read it?
What is written in the law, eh? Well, there's a part in the commandments which says, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. That's how I read it.
You have answered right. Do this, and you shall live.
But there are words here that could stand some explaining, if you can explain them. Take just one. The word, neighbor. Who is my neighbor? Is he the man who lives next door to me? Or in my own town? Or in the next town? What I want to know is, who is my neighbor?
To think the master was being tried as a criminal, the way Nathan cross-examines him.
To some, any man with a new idea is a criminal. But the master's calm. Look at his face. Did you ever see such calmness and such kindness, even toward Nathan? Now he's going to answer. Perhaps with one of his parables.
A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among thieves.
Samuel.
Yes, Esther?
Maybe you'd better not take your new clothes.
Do you want me to travel like a beggar?
You'd be less conspicuous if you did.
Ah, I understand now. You're still worrying about my safety on the road.
Well, so many men have been attacked by bandits lately on the road to Jericho.
I'm sure if I had time, you'd tell me all over again how they tie ropes across the road to unseat riders and how...
Please.
I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to joke about your worries. Not any more than I joke about my love for you. But if my brother sent for me, there must be a good reason. Maybe my mother's health. Whatever it is, I assured him I'd come to Jericho as soon as he sent for me. So, dear, let's finish with the packing.
Everything's ready except for your money belt.
I promised I'd let Jonathan bring me that. It makes him feel so important. Jonathan, I'm ready.
Yes, Father?
Well, son, you have the money belt?
Sure it is, Father. And it's heavy. Very heavy.
You have to carry a burden. Gold is the best I know of.
Let me help you put it on.
Of course. I put it on this way and there. Tie it tightly.
Yes, Father.
Samuel, I still wish you wouldn't go alone.
Ah, now, Esther, please. I'm going to Jericho alone only because I can't help it.
Well, I can go with you.
Oh, indeed. But who would take care of your mother?
Oh, that's right. But I know someone else who's going to Jericho today. Saul's father.
Today?
Yes.
You see, Samuel, you don't have to go alone after all.
Why, of course. And whom do we have to thank for it? Why, my son. Jonathan, you're proving to be a great help to your father. I'm proud of you, son.
Thank you, Father. But I better go find Saul's father now.
Tell me, Jonathan, do you know Saul's father? Have you ever seen him?
Oh, yes. He's a wonderful man. Very kind. Well, nice. It's nice to be with him. But now I'd better find out when he's leaving.
Certainly, but there's no need to run.
Oh, I'll have to. You see, I have to go down to King David Street to find
Jonathan.
Yes, Father?
Did you say you were going to King David Street?
Yes. Saul lives there, and if I want to talk to his father...
Jonathan.
What's the matter?
Just who is Saul's father?
Ephraim. Ephraim of Nablus.
Of Nablus. And King David Street. Just as I thought. Of course, he's a Samaritan.
Yes.
Well...
Is something wrong, Father?
Is something wrong? In heaven's name, son, don't you know about the Samaritans?
What do you mean?
I don't ever want you playing with Samaritan boys. Is that understood?
But why?
Why? Well, for one thing, Samaritans are dirty, shiftless people.
Saul isn't dirty.
Besides, they're not to be trusted.
But, Father, Saul is an honest boy. He never cheats at games.
Jonathan, will you listen to your father?
Yes, Father, but can I even ask why?
Well, Samaritans are traitors. 500 years ago, when the Babylonians invaded our land, it was the Samaritans who collaborated with them, who ate at their tables and even married their women.
500 years ago? Well, you can't blame Saul for that.
He's a Samaritan, and it's in their blood to be cheating traitors.
Father,
Yes, Jonathan?
what you said about their blood, it's not so.
And what do you know about such things, may I ask?
Saul and I, we made a pact of friendship. I cut my hand and he cut his, and we mingled blood. It looked the same, his and mine.
A sacred pact of friendship with a Samaritan. Esther, did you hear?
Please, dear.
Now, I've heard everything. Jonathan, you may leave the room, but before you go, promise you will not play with any Samaritan boys again.
But, Father...
I said promise.
Father, please. Saul's my best friend.
Promise.
Yes, sir.
You may go now. I can't get over it, Esther. What's happened to the boy? Is that why I work so hard? Give him the best of everything so he can associate with Samaritan boys?
Please, Samuel, don't think about it now. You've got a dangerous journey ahead of you. Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Would it really be so bad if you went with this Ephraim of Nablus?
Esther, I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. I only thought of your safety. After all, who would see you on the road?
Oh, you can't tell about things like that. Some important merchant might see me. The word would get around that I associate with Samaritans. It might ruin me. I'd rather risk it alone than be seen with a Samaritan. And now I'd better go.
I've already put a skin of fresh water and some cheese and bread in the camel's saddlebag. And here are your clothes. And the gifts I got for your mother and brother.
Good.
Samuel, take care. And on your way, stop in at the temple to make a sacrifice. And pray.
Don't I always do that? Now, goodbye, dear.
You will take care.
Of course. I'd better go now.
Samuel, haven't you forgotten something?
Forgotten?
What we always used to say when we parted. The Lord keep watch between thee and me.
While
we are
absent,
one from another.
And this thing more I ask, O Lord, that you keep my wife and son safe while I am on my journey. For without them, what is my life? Keep them and bless them for the day I shall return, if it is thy will.
And may your offering find favor with the Lord, so that he grants you a safe journey. Amen.
Amen. And thank you, good priest, for your benediction.
I trust you will have good luck on your venture. Where are you going?
To Jericho.
Jericho? Oh, that's bad.
Yes, if it weren't a family obligation, I wouldn't risk it.
Well, it's not so dangerous as long as you go in a caravan.
Caravan? I'm afraid not. I can't wait until one leaves.
You mean you're going alone?
Yes. My camel is outside, and I'd better leave now if I want to cover the road in daylight.
Keep a sharp eye to the road, Simon.
I'm watching, Atman. This time I hope it's a caravan. My share of the booty has been pretty slim lately.
It's more than you deserve, you miserable weakling.
I may be small, but I'm not a weakling. Haven't I wrestled and thrown camel drivers twice my size?
Wrestled? You're a poor excuse for a bandit if you can't stand the sight of blood. Give me a man who can kill with pleasure.
When you start talking that way, I pity the next travelers who come along this road.
Just keep a sharp watch. A bandit without a taste for blood. Sometimes I think I should work alone.
Fire
Wait,
up.
Atlas. The traveler is coming on a camel. See? Off there.
We'll stop him where the road curves. Let's get moving.
Hello there, friend.
Yes? Who are you?
I'm a lone traveler from Jericho, and I'm thirsty. Could you spare a man a mouthful of water?
Surely, friend. I'm Samuel of Jerusalem. You're welcome to drink all you can hold. I thought you said you were alone.
My friend's a little man. He can't drink much. Come, Simon. The man says we can have a drink.
Now, wait. I doubt if you are a traveler. You don't look like one, and
Get
besides...
around on the other side of him, Simon.
Say, what is this?
You hear that? What is this? Hand over your money belt if you know what's good for you.
Money belt? So you are a bandit?
Yes, I'm a bandit.
You hit him a good one, Atlas.
Don't talk so much. Just dismount. Get his money.
Sure.
Hurry, get the money belt and let's get out of here.
Sure, but I think you gave him too heavy a blow.
Shut up. Search him, get his money belt, and let's go.
Yes, sir. The belt is tight, but I'll... There it is. And a heavy one, too.
It'll buy many a skin of wine. Let me have it.
Here. His clothes are not so bad either.
Well, don't stand there talking about his clothes. Take them.
I'm taking them.
Oh. Still alive, is he? I'll fix that.
Atlas, you'll kill him.
I don't like victims who moan. Well, that's done. Now take his camel. If we ever get caught, there's one man who won't be able to identify us. Come on, weak knees.
Yes, Atlas.
Help! Someone help me. I'm a traveler who's been attacked by bandits.
Ah! Who is it out there in the darkness?
I'm by the side of the road. I've been badly beaten. Help me.
And endanger my caravan? I'm carrying taxes for the king from the temple.
If you're from the temple, surely you'll help me. It's your duty to man and God.
I can't stop and risk the gold.
But I'm dying. Help me. At least give me some water, please, please.
Don't stop, drivers. Get your camels moving. We must get away from here. This may be a trap set by the bandits. Hurry, drivers. Start moving.
Help me, please. I'm dying. Help me. Another caravan. If I could only get up. Help! Help!
Who is that who's calling? A voice. The voice of a man who sounds pretty sick and weak.
Help me! I've been attacked by bandits.
Do we stop?
Who is it out there in the darkness? I'm Samuel of Jerusalem. I've been beaten by bandits. I can't move. Help me. I need water and clothes. I'm freezing here in the night. Help me.
A man who travels alone deserves to die alone.
From the size of your caravan, you must be an important man. Can't you spare even a skin of water, an old coat? I tell you, I'm dying.
I am a servant of God on urgent business. I have no time to stop.
If you're a servant of God, could you let a man in distress die?
To me, you're not a man, only a voice in the dark. Move on, men. Move on.
No, you must help me. You must. I have a son, a wife. What there's they? Help me.
Move on, I say.
What is to become of me? Am I to die out here on the road? Isn't there anyone who'll stop to help me?
my wife Esther and my son Jonathan. Won't they ever see me again? Or even know what's happened to me? Oh, dear Lord. There must be help somewhere. From someone. Who's coming? Who is it? Help me. Help.
Who calls out there?
I'm a traveler from Jerusalem, attacked and beaten by bandits. Help me. Help me.
Faster, Camel. Faster. There's a man in trouble. I'll help you, friend. Here, let me... Oh, he's fainted. Oh, maybe dead. I'd better give him some water. Here, friend. Let me lift your head. Now, drink.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't bother to talk now. You must save your strength. And I'll soothe your wounds with some of this oil I have. I don't mean to hurt you. Forgive me. I must fix your wounds. There are many of them, and they're deep. But this oil... Here... Oh! Sometimes a man must hurt in order to heal. I'm doing the best I can. The oil will ease your pain. Better. Better. Good. Now I must get you to an inn.
Thank you.
But first let me put my coat around you. You're naked and cold.
But what about you?
I'll fight the cold by walking. You must ride my camel.
You're doing too much for a stranger.
A man who's a stranger today may be a friend tomorrow. Here, take my coat. Innkeeper!
Who's knocking this time of night?
I have a traveler with me. He's sick. He needs a bed.
Oh, all right. I'll open up.
I say this man isn't sick. He's been beaten. By the bandits, probably.
Yes, but talk won't help him. He needs a comfortable bed and good care.
Well, if the bandits got him, he probably doesn't have the money to pay for a bed and food.
I didn't think to inquire, but I have the money.
May I feel the weight of the coins in my hand first?
Please, this man is sick.
A sick man may die. And who's to take the risk? Not me. The coin.
Here.
All right. You can bring him in now.
Lean on me, friend.
Thank you.
Here. Rest here.
Thank you, friend.
I'd stay here with you, except I have urgent business in Jericho. But you'll receive good care here. Isn't that so, innkeeper?
Of course. As long as the money holds out.
I'll be coming back this way in a few days with more. Give this man everything. I'll pay for it.
As you say. I'll get him some milk now.
You've been very kind to me. Why?
You're a man. Isn't that reason enough?
But others passed me by.
A man who's suffered hardship and hatred knows the value of a kind deed.
When you return from Jericho, we'll go back to Jerusalem together. You must be a guest in my house.
Perhaps.
I insist. There must be some way I can show my appreciation. Besides, my wife and son would never forgive me if I didn't bring you home and do you honor equal to your kindness to me tonight.
Your wife and son might not think so highly of me.
Why not?
Because I am from Nablus.
You, a Samaritan?
Yes, friend. So, you see, your wife and son might not welcome a guest called Ephraim of Nablus.
Ephraim?
Why do you say it that way?
Forgive me, Ephraim, forgive me.
For what?
Without knowing you, I've hated you.
I don't understand.
I'll tell you about it one day. But now that I know who you are, I insist you not only dine with us in my house, but bring your wife and your son Saul as well.
You know that I have a wife and a son.
Yes, I know. And there are many things I know now that I never knew before. It isn't a man's face or his possessions or the way he speaks or the place he was born which determines how good a man he is. It's what he does towards his fellow men that should earn him his place in this world. And yours, Ephraim, should be among the highest. Promise you'll come to my house, please.
I promise, Samuel.
The master spoke wisely.
Yes.
And now Nathan looks humble and meek. Not defiant as he did before. Wait, the master's going to speak again.
Which now of these three do you think was neighbor to him that fell among thieves?
I know now, Master. The man who showed him mercy.
Go thou and do likewise.
Listening to The Good Samaritan, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Railroad Hour. And here's our star-studded show train. Tonight, the Association of American Railroads invites you to a special Railroad Hour Christmas party, starring Gordon MacRae with his celebrated guest from the Metropolitan Opera, Dorothy Kirsten, and featuring a dramatized version of a famous Nutcracker Suite. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. It's a coast-to-coast Christmas celebration brought to you by the American Railroads, the same railroads that bring you most of the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the fuel you burn, and all the other things you use in your daily life. And now, here is our star, Gordon MacRae.
Thank you, Marvin Miller, and good evening, everybody. Maybe you're a little bit tired tonight with shopping, and you still haven't figured out just what to get for Aunt Esther and Uncle Bill. Or if you draw your paycheck from the post office department, I'll bet you're kind of wishing that the fellow with the red suit would loan you a reindeer to help carry the pack on your back. And if you happen to be a salesgirl at the notions counter of McClanahan's department store, well, peace be with you, child, only 48 hours more. Wherever you are, if you're a little tired out from the holiday hectivity, then give us half an hour to remind you of the real majesty and wonder of Christmas time. Dorothy Kirsten is here, Carmen Dragon, Norman Luboff, all our Railroad Hour family. We've hung the microphone on our Christmas tree. If you want to be part of the party, why, come join us. Dorothy Kirsten, what do you like most about Christmas? Besides presents.
Well, Gordon, I think it's inspiring to know that Wednesday night, every part of the world, from Trondheim
Norway to Hobart, Tasmania, will start celebrating the same holiday of love and giving.
Yes, Christmas always seems to bring us closer together. You know, Dorothy, there's a song that says just that.
Sing it for us, Gordon.
All right, I will. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in days, happy golden days of yore, faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas
What do you want for Christmas, Gordon?
Well, may I tell you the truth, Dorothy? I honestly get everything I want.
I know what you mean. When you have a wonderful family and the best friends in all the world, you really have the most precious gifts a person can receive.
You're so right. But there's one present I know we'd all like to have, Dorothy. A special Christmas song from you. lovely, Dorothy. You know, we have a lot more packages to open up. Press wrapped in music paper and tied with violin strings.
According to the old tradition, Gordon, all on just one day. The holiday was supposed to last until 12th night, the 5th of January.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen of the choir, take a deep breath and tell us all about the 12 days of Christmas.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying,
5 golden rings, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves,
and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying,
5 golden rings, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 pipers piping, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming in the lane, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 ladies dancing, 9 pipers piping, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 lords a-leaping, 10 ladies dancing, 9 pipers piping, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 sisters spinning, 11 lords a-leaping, 10 ladies dancing, 9 pipers piping, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
No, that was wonderful, kid. Before we bring you our dramatization of the Nutcracker Suite, here is Mr. William T. Farrisee, President of the Association of American Railroads, speaking from Washington, D.C.
In just a few days now, Christmas will be here. The air is filled with the joyous music of Christmas carols. The stores are filled with people busy finishing the happy chore of buying Christmas presents. The children are anticipating with ever-increasing excitement the visit from Santa Claus. And most of all, families whose members have become widely scattered are looking forward to joyful reunions. But Christmas is much more than just a festive holiday. And the best gift we could receive, to share as members of the brotherhood of man, is the gift of peace on earth, goodwill to men. The promise of that goal was the glory of the first Christmas almost 2,000 years ago. It is a goal that has been sought by men of goodwill through the centuries. Perhaps it would help in our efforts to reach that goal if we pause in the midst of the gaiety of the Christmas season and ask for the divine help we need to carry always in our hearts the real spirit of Christmas, a spirit that recognizes not the differences in men, but their kinship, a spirit that is summed up by the simple words, peace on earth, goodwill to men. Now, on behalf of the Railroad Hour family, which includes all those who produce our weekly broadcasts, as well as the railroad companies which sponsor them, the men and women who work for companies, and the million men and women whose invested savings make them the real owners of the railroads, for all these people, I'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. And in the year to come, may you find health, happiness, and above all, peace.
Thank you, Mr. Parisi. Friends, because Christmas is for children, Dorothy Kirsten and I want to include a famous story about Christmas for all the kids around our Railroad Hour tree. Lawrence and Lee, who wrote the words, call it a short musical, or an opera in a nutshell. Tchaikovsky was the first man to tell this story, and I'd like to do just what I'll bet he did. I'm going to take a little girl up on my knee. She might be your daughter or mine. And I'm going to tell her the fabulous Christmas fairy tale set to music, The Nutcracker Suite.
Now is the Christmas season, let us all be jolly. Lift up your voice and song and celebrate the holiday. Sing ye the Christmas carols, evergreen and holly. Ring out the joyous bells and consecrate the Christmas day.
Who are all those people singing?
Why, those are the carolers who used to go from house to house in the old world, bringing Christmas cheer and songs to all the people.
Couldn't they just turn on the radio and get Christmas music?
They didn't have radios in those days. Oh, this is a once-upon-a-time story. Remember? It happened even before your mother was a little girl.
Did they have presents that long ago?
Presents? Why, the stockings were just loaded with gifts.
See the lovely gifts for the children. Look.
A doll that really cries. She opens up her eyes to give a little Christmas girl a wonderful surprise.
Father Christmas loves all the children. Look.
A soldier with a gun. A stocking full of fun. A tree that's loaded high with precious gifts for everyone. Except
who?
Except a poor little girl named Marie. Her family didn't have money enough to buy her even one single present.
Not even a comic book?
Not even that. And you can imagine how sad Marie's mama was when she looked at the green branches of the Christmas tree without a single thing underneath.
Poor Marie.
Then her mother got an idea. She gave her little girl the only gift that she could find. An old nutcracker.
A nutcracker?
Mm-hmm. For cracking nuts. It was shaped just like a man. And his jaws would open and close and crack the nuts right between his teeth.
That sounds like a nice present.
Well, Marie thought so. And when she showed it to the other children, they laughed at her. And some boys took the nutcracker away from her and broke it.
Oh.
So Marie brought the poor old nutcracker home, put it under the Christmas tree, and cried herself to sleep.
Poor little Marie.
Along about midnight, she woke up. With a she heard a strange noise downstairs. So she put on her bathrobe and slipped on her slippers and went down to see what was happening.
Softly, softly, down the creaky stairs. Softly, softly, is your present there?
Oh, Nutcracker was there, all right. But he was being attacked by a whole army of mice.
Mice?
Platoons of mice, battalions of mice, whole regiments of mice. And their king was in command, a big gray mouse with a long gray mustache. And Nutcracker was all alone against them.
Wasn't he scared?
Not on your life. Nutcracker is not afraid of mice. Nutcracker will bite them in his vice. He'll break them up with tricky nuts and make the king of mice up beside a juice. But what's the use of taking this abuse? Nutcracker, king of mice. Nutcracker will make him pay the price for mousing up the Christmas toys and scaring little girls and boys, for shaking up and breaking up a holiday of joy.
But how could Nutcracker fight when he was broken?
Oh, he couldn't. But he was as brave as a lion. But his poor jaw wouldn't work. The mouse pounced on poor Nutcracker. He tried to beat them off, but they backed him up against the wall, and the king of mice was charging down on him. And what do you think Marie did?
She covered up her eyes.
No, sir. She slipped off her bedroom slipper and threw it right at the king of mice. And all the mice were so surprised that they all scampered away with their tails dragging behind them.
Phew, I was worried there for a minute.
Suddenly, like magic, the most wonderful thing happened. Right before Marie's eyes, Nutcracker changed himself into a handsome prince. And he took little by the hand and said, "Because you have been my heroine, because you have loved me with all the goodness of your heart, even when I was a funny, broken old nutcracker, I'm going to take you to the land where all the toys in the world will belong to you. Come, little princess."
Where are we?
Why, this is the magic land where all the toys live.
Oh, that must be the queen of this country, with the silver on her wings and the jewels in her hair.
Why, don't you know who that is? That's the Sugar Plum Fairy. Miss Marie, meet the Sugar Plum Fairy. Sugar Plum Fairy, meet Marie.
I'm very pleased to know you, Miss Sugar Plum Fairy.
Welcome to the land of sugar plums, little ones. Fill your tums, everybody comes to enjoy the Christmas holiday. Come and play, pass away for a day. No one here will tell you what to do, what to do, what to you would be fun to do. It's a fine day, dance and dine day, sunny shine day for you.
Are you having a good time, child?
Oh, yes, Miss Sugar Plum.
How do you like our magic land of toys?
There's just one thing I don't understand. Who winds them all up?
They don't have to be wound up because they're all alive. Look, they want to dance with you.
I think I'd like that.
Come along and dance with me around the Christmas tree, for here beneath the holly you will find a lot of jolly toys. Everyone belongs to you, and they're going to sing their songs to you with lemon drops and lollipops for little golden girls and boys. Round and round the tree we go, dancing beneath the mistletoe. La 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 la.
This is the merriest Christmas I've ever had.
Some of the musical instruments in our toy orchestra have asked to meet you.
Oh, I've always wanted to meet a musical instrument.
Then may I present the two flute brothers, Melody and Harmony. They want to have a little conversation with you.
I'd like that very much. Tell me, gentlemen, how's everything in the orchestra? You don't say. Why, thank you. The same to you and a Happy New Year.
Now, just a minute. Hold everything. You mean to tell me that you could understand what those flutes were saying?
Every word.
Do you know why?
It must be magic or something.
It's because you have a loving heart.
For a little girl who has a loving heart, where she lives, the world around her is always the land of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And if she is brave and good, the dolls will dance for her, the flutes will flirt with her, and every nutcracker can become a handsome prince.
Oh, I can hardly wait for next Christmas to come.
You don't have to wait, my dear. Don't you know that Father Christmas has given all of us presents to last the whole year round?
What present?
Why, the flowers. Every time a blossom opens, it reminds us that the spirit of loving isn't meant to flower only at Christmas, but every day of the year.
That's why the flowers dance in our gardens.
How can flowers dance? Their feet are fastened in the ground.
Oh, haven't you ever seen them?
Why, they're waltzing all the time.
All the flowers dance. They spend their hours romancing.
While the bee plays a symphony, long entrancing. And the holy rose bring a fragrance to you.
Oh, thank you, flowers, for showing me how to make Christmas last the whole year through.
Waltzing, 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 lazy, daisy hours, swaying, swinging, waltzing, living, living, waltz of flowers, fuzzy, fuzzy, waltzing, bowing to the flowers, easy, breezy, waltzing, springtime, springtime, waltz up into the flowers, waltzing, 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 lazy, daisy hours, swaying, swaying, bowing to the flowers, while we are waltzing, 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 wheeling, wheeling, whirling, swirling, waltzing now, waltz all the
Well, sir, that's our Christmas gift for every child listening. Our version of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. You know, folks, sometimes in all the gaiety and celebration of the holiday time, I think we may be inclined to forget why the Christmas season began so many years ago. Along with all the fun and the laughter and the presents, we should take a few moments at least to say a prayer for our children in the Christmases to come. Right now, I'm going to ask Dorothy Kirsten, Carmen Dragon, and the orchestra, and Norman Lubaugh's choir to join me in the great our Christmas party. Dorothy, is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Just 2 words, Gordon. Merry Christmas.
And that same wish comes from our entire Railroad Hour family.
All aboard?
Well, sir, it looks as though we're ready to pull out. Next week, a special New Year's program with Dorothy Warrensholt as our guest. We'll be reviewing in words and in music the highlights of this year of 1952. Until then, God bless you all.
Gordon MacRae can soon be seen starring in Warner Brothers' Technicolor musical Desert Song. Tonight's script and special lyrics for the Tchaikovsky music were written by Lawrence and Lee. Noreen Corcoran was the little girl in the Nutcracker Suite. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. This is Marvin Miller saying goodbye until next week for the American Railroads. A portion of the preceding program was transcribed. Now keep tuned for your Monday on NBC.
Tonight, The Voice of Firestone features Eleanor Stieber on NBC.
Kids, now you really did sing at that time. When we go on the air, I want you to do it just like that, will you?
Joe, what do you mean when we go on the air?
What?
We're on now.
Yeah, we're what?
We're on, Joe.
Well, don't stand there, Bob Murphy. Do something. Ring the sleigh bell, somebody. That's it.
Yes, it's the Quiz Kids Christmas party, friends, coming to you this afternoon from the living room of Joe Kelly's home. There's no formal schoolroom atmosphere here. Instead, it's a typical picture for this season of the year. A group of happy youngsters gathered around a glittering Christmas tree and vainly trying to maintain some semblance of order is our host, the chief quizzer himself, Joe Kelly.
Well, thank you, Bob, and hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quiz Kids Christmas party. We've invited some of the children here in the neighborhood to our party, and we have a few grown-up friends here, too. In fact, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the walls of the Kelly home aren't bulging quite a bit. But I agree with the youngsters. When it comes to a party, the more the merrier. You know, the children in our Quiz Kids classroom last Sunday offered to come out and help Mrs. Kelly and me trim our Christmas tree. So I took them up on the offer, and, well, kids, I want to say right now, you've done a wonderful job. The tree looks beautiful. And say, I understand you quiz kids have worked up a Christmas program as sort of a surprise for teacher. Now, I don't know what kind of a program it is, but I certainly am anxious to hear it. And I know all our friends out there listening are, too. But first, just to keep in practice, let's have a few questions. Now, we'll just sit down here on the floor around the Christmas tree like here. If Grandpa Kelly can make it. I couldn't miss the floor, really. Well, as usual, we'll start off with roll call. First, Joel.
I'm Carol Kupperman, and I'm 12 years old in 8th grade in the Volta School.
Lonnie?
I'm Lonnie Lundy. I'm 13 years old and in the 8th grade at Lincoln Junior High School in Park Ridge, Illinois.
Ruthie?
I'm Ruthie Deskin. I'm 14 years old and in 3B at South Shore.
Patrick?
I am Patrick Owen I'm 11 years old and in 7B at the Fort Dearborn School in Chicago.
And little Melvin.
I'm Melvin Miles. I'm 5 years old. I go to kindergarten Norwood Park School.
Well, fine. Now that we've counted noses, here we go with the first question. You know, during this Christmas season, Evelyn Stewart of Buffalo, New York, has been thinking of children in other lands all over the world. She wonders if you quiz kids can say Merry Christmas in any language other than our own. All right, Ruthie?
Well, I think in French it would be Joyeux Noël.
Well...
Or something on that order. Maybe it would be Noël Joyeux. I'm not sure which it is.
That's just what it would be. That's fine. And, Lonnie?
Well, I don't exactly know a foreign language, but I can give you it in languages that aren't English, like Pig Latin.
Pig Latin? Well, all right. How do you say Merry
Mary
Christmas?
May Ismus Cray.
That's right. That's good.
Or else an Ibe language. That's Mibur Ibe Cribus Mibus.
Oh, that's just dandy, yes. Uh-huh. And little Melvin has his hand up.
Well,
all right, Melvin.
I was going to say the same thing. I could say too, so seeing as when Lonnie said it in Pig Latin, I could say it in Polish.
Oh, in Polish? Well, all right. Let's hear Merry Christmas.
Wesołe Świąt.
Well, what do you know about that? That's fine. Oh, say, by the way, have you kids heard why Santa Claus is giving his reindeer umbrellas for Christmas presents this year? Have you heard? Pat?
Well, would it have something to do that what goes up the chimney up can't come down the chimney down, or that old joke?
No. Lonnie?
Well, might have some connection with their their name, reindeers.
Well, you're warm. You're warm. Ruthie?
Well, maybe it'd be to keep the rains out of their faces.
You're pretty close. It's to keep them out of the reindeer. Oh, dear. Oh, I just had to get that in there. That's all right, too. Well, now, here, the next question here is from Miss Doris Bredenberg of Seattle, Washington. And she wants to know what opera characters might have used these familiar present-day signs to advertise their business. First, a red and white striped pole. What opera character, Patrick?
Well, that would be Figaro, the Barber of Seville, and the Marriage of Figaro. He was a barber.
Right. Absolutely.
Who, he says he combed the men's hair by day and made love to the ladies by night.
Yeah. And how about the sign of the flying red horse? What opera character? The sign of the flying red horse. Pat?
Well, it might be the Flying Dutchman.
Well...
He flew. Not on a horse, but...
No, not exactly. Joel?
Well, wouldn't it be Brunhild in the Ring operas?
Well, you're very, very close. Very close. Did we give up on this? Ruthie?
Well, I think it'd be the Valkyries.
That's right. Absolutely. That's right, Ruthie. Uh-huh. That was very good, children. As usual, we're sending a fine Zenith transoceanic shortwave portable radio to Doris Bredenberg of Seattle, Washington, for sending in this question that you have answered correctly. Now, if you miss a question this afternoon, Alka-Seltzer's reward will be the same as it usually is, a big Zenith radio phonograph combination. You know, the wear and tear of Christmas shopping is getting a lot of people down, including Sally Mitchner of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And with only a few more shopping days to go, she wishes she had a few of those remarkable mythological characters to help her shop. Can you tell us a few that might be helpful, Pat?
Well, Hercules would be very helpful, so he could carry all the presents.
That's right.
And
yes.
Minerva would be fine, too, so she could think of what to get.
Yes.
And Aphrodite would be so beautiful that the men would clear out the way.
Yes, sure.
She'd charm them so much.
Oh, she would, yes, definitely. And, Ruthie?
Well, I think Mercury, because there was one couple that he visited once, and he made their cups so that it was always flowing with water. So maybe he could make our pockets so they were always flowing with money.
Which would be wonderful, especially around Christmas time, wouldn't it? And Joel?
Well, Argus, because he had 100 eyes, and there's a lot of things that want to get it. And also Mercury again, because he could fly, and there'd be no trouble about transportation, because you just could fly over the heads of the crowd.
That's true. And Lonnie?
Well, I was going to say somewhat what Joel was saying. Perhaps Phaeton, who drove the chariot of the sun, that would provide transportation. And also Cupid would make the clerks real friendly and everything, possibly.
He certainly would.
And also Atlas, if he held up the world, he could also hold up a few Christmas packages.
That he could. And Melvin?
Well, maybe I don't have as quite as entertaining to the question here, but I could say maybe the shoemaker and the elves, because the shoemaker was getting very poor, and the elves helped him. He made the shoes for him, and they got more money. Then, then the work was all done. Then they could sell it faster, and then the wife gave them some clothes.
Yes. Well, now that's all right, Melvin. Yes, sir. Those were all very good answers, kids. I'm awfully glad that you brought all of those out. Now then, here on this next question, Max D. Reed of Portland, Oregon, wants to know why this year, but never before and never again, the sequence 1 dozen, 2 dozen, and 4 dozen signifies happiness. 1 dozen, 2 dozen, and 4 dozen. Joel?
Well, 1 dozen would be 12. That's the 12th month of the year.
Yes.
2 dozen is 24.
24.
That's the 24th day is Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And 4 dozen is 48, and that would be 1948.
That's absolutely right, Joel. Yes, sirree. December 24th, 1948. Now, Mrs. Charles Donnelly of Corpus Christi, Texas, wants a white Christmas so much this year that she thought up this question. It's all about white animals. Who was chasing these white animals in literature? First, a white whale. Who was chasing a white whale? Lonnie?
Well, that was in the story Moby Dick. Moby Dick was the whale, and let's see,
Who was chasing?
It was a cannibal.
No.
Well, the ship they were on was the Pequod. I know that.
Well, all right, but
Captain Ahab was the captain.
Captain Ahab, that's the answer. Yes, sir. And how about a white rabbit? Ruthie?
Well, that was Alice in Alice in Wonderland. She chased him down the rabbit hole and right into Wonderland.
She certainly did. Oh, say, listen to that, would you? Those sleigh bells really have a merry sound, don't they? And quiz kids, that means that school is over, and it's time for the fun to begin. Oh, boy, say, I'll bet you quiz kids have been wondering about those presents under the Christmas tree, haven't you? Well, so have I. And if someone will just help me get up off the floor, we'll have a look. Yes, sirree. Oh, no, Melvin, thanks. I'm afraid you'll have to... I'm afraid you'll have to spend a few more seasons working with your road gang before you can tackle this kind of job. Say, Bob Murphy, suppose you take over while we take a look at our Christmas presents.
Well, swell, Joe, and I'm glad to have this chance to talk to the folks listening in. I know you're going to be mighty busy during the next 5 days, friends, and I also know that you don't want to wake up Christmas morning with a cold. But have you noticed Old Man Cold is really making the rounds? Let's hope he doesn't catch up with you. However, if you should feel a cold coming on, remember Alka-Seltzer. Yes, remember and try Alka-Seltzer for fast relief from much of your cold distress. Here's the ABC Cold Comfort Treatment. A, Alka-Seltzer. B, Be wise. Beware of drafts, be careful of your diet, and be sure you dress sensibly and try to get more rest than usual. And C stands for comfort. The comfort an Alka-Seltzer gargle can give a sore throat caused by a cold. Well, there it is, friends. Alka-Seltzer's ABC cold comfort treatment, as easy as ABC to follow and really effective. Just try it and see for yourself. Remember, when you begin to sniffle and sneeze, start Alka-Seltzer's ABCs. Get Alka-Seltzer at any drugstore and say, better buy that extra package, too. That's the wisest thing to do. Say, Joe, how are you and the quiz kids coming along with those presents?
Oh, fine, Bob. Fine, just fine. What do you know? Here's one left over here, kids. Let's see. Bob, it has your name on it.
Well,
Here.
Thank you very much, Joe. This is very nice.
You're welcome, Bob, but don't stand there just holding it. Open it up and let's see what it is. We all want to have a look at it.
Look, I can tell by the gleam in your eye you already know what it is.
No.
Let me...
Bob, why, of course
Holy
I
smokes,
don't.
Joe. Look at
Let's
this
see.
thing here.
Well, what do you know? It's a cup and saucer, and the biggest cup I ever saw, sir. Oh, yes. Hey, Bob, do you like coffee?
Oh, you bet I do, Joe.
Well, with a big cup like that, you better drink your coffee black because that waistline of yours will really grow.
The pot is calling the kettle black over there. Seriously, Joe, what'd you find under the Christmas tree, huh?
Oh, one of the nicest presents I ever received. The quiz kid gave me this beautiful cashmere scarf. Isn't it a dandy? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Well, thanks a lot, kids, ever so much. And now let's hear what the quiz kids found on the Christmas tree. Well, what was in your package, Ruthie?
Oh, the most luscious pair of yellow Angora mittens with all sorts of colored trimmings all over them. I love Angora. Thanks so much.
Say, they're beautiful, aren't they? And, Lonnie, how about you?
Well, I got a swell football game here. It's has a great big board and a spinner, a board that you spin on. It looks like a lot of fun. I'll have to try that out as soon as I get home.
That's a dandy, isn't it? Huh? And, Joel?
I got a nice little zipper notebook, just what I need. I'm going into high school in February.
Oh, fine. Well, did you open it up?
Yeah, sure.
Huh? What's inside? What's inside, Joel?
Please.
Huh? Open it way up there. What?
A turtle.
A turtle, yeah. Oh, surprise on Joel. Joel, he collects turtles as a hobby. Yes, sir. That's a dandy one, too. Well, how about you, Patrick?
Well, I think I got the best of all. It's an album of Decca records with A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens and Ronald Colman as Scrooge. And I'm going to try that out as soon as I get home, but I'm sure it'll be very
fine.
good.
Well, say, that's wonderful. And Melvin, how about you? What did you get, son?
I got a molding set here.
Get out.
The thing that I've been always wanting, my mother just bought that for a gift, and she said I'm too little, but I think I could work them anyway.
Oh, I'm sure you could. Yes, sir. Well, it doesn't take a mind reader to tell that you're all pleased with your presents. But I know that you quiz kids have experienced the real meaning of Christmas this year by playing Santa Claus to a lot of youngsters who are not as fortunate as you are. Yes, and you've been generous, Santa Claus, too. You see, friends, the quiz kids learned about the youngsters on the Navajo Indian Reservation, 150 miles back in the desert near Shiprock, New Mexico. Now, these youngsters belong to families who missed out on the relief work done for Navajos in the last year. So all the quiz kids who have ever been on our program decided to make this Christmas a very, very merry one for these little Indian kids. They have sent a shipment of over 500 new and reconditioned toys, a really wonderful collection of toys, beautiful dolls, books, wind-up trains, musical instruments, a high chair, a doll's house. In fact, just about everything that children everywhere like to have. Along with the toys, which are being distributed by the doctor in charge of the hospital in Shiprock, the Zenith Radio Corporation has donated one of their big radio phonograph combinations for the hospital there. Wasn't that nice? So we can say Merry Christmas to our little Navajo Indian friends out there on the desert in New Mexico and know that they are going to have just that. Now then, quiz kids, I think I've waited long enough for this surprise present you have for me, this program you've planned. I guess it's going to be a lot like the Christmas stocking hanging over the fireplace. You don't know what's in it until you look, and believe me, I'm ready to take a peek right now. Ruthie, suppose you start us off.
Well, I've written a little poem. I suppose it'd be more appropriate a few hours from now, but I'm going to read it now anyway.
All right,
it's a parody on The Night Before Christmas called A Visit from the Quiz Kids. 'Twas the week before Christmas at Joe Kelly's house, and the quiz kids were gay as a waltz theme by Strauss. Our genial host, the chief quizzer himself, was dressed all in red like that dear Christmas elf. Soon from the piano there issued a chord that sounded like cranking a Model T Ford. Oblivious, Lonnie continued to play, while Pat's Irish tenor went trilling away. Joel, sampling each cookie and sweet, interrupted the music with, "When do we eat?" And wee little Melvin, in his best bib and tucker, stood licking the last of his old all-year-sucker, while I, looking on with envious eyes, wondered if pretzels would increase my size. Yes, the Kellys, the quiz kids, our parents and staff had a wonderful party with many a laugh. But poor Mrs. Kelly was thankful, I fear, that the quiz kids, like Christmas, come but once a year.
Oh, that was Daniel, Rudy. That was fun. It certainly was. Now, little Patrick here has worked up some sort of a mysterious skit, so I'm going to turn the program over to you, Pat. You tell us what you have, will you?
Well, it is I have written a play, and it's called A Present for Santa Claus. In collaboration with the other quiz kids, we have worked up parts, and here is the cast. Santa will be played by Melvin Miles. Twinkle, a chubby elf, played by Bob Murphy. Snowball, the chief helper of Santa, played by Joel Kupperman. Elmer, another chubby elf, played by Joe Kelly. Mr. Baker, played by Ruthie Duskin. Mrs. Baker.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Mrs. Baker, played by Ruthie Duskin. Mr. Baker, played by Pat Conlon. And Billy Baker, played by Lonnie Lundy. Scene 1, Santa Claus's workshop, 2 days before Christmas.
Now, hurry, hurry. Work, work. There's time for play, but let's not shirk. Let's not do our work by half. When we're through, we'll dance and laugh.
Well, we elves get to have some fun, but poor old Santa Claus, all he gets is orders and more orders. He never gets paid for his services. He says his reward is like seeing boys and girls made happy, and I think he deserves something more than that.
Why, I think you're right, pal. I mean, elf, that is. Oh, here comes Santa now.
Ho, 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 what's this I hear about old Saint Nick at Christmas time? Joy does the trick. Old Santa never need complain.
What goes
Okay, Yule time.
Oh, yeah.
Let love reign.
Don't leave me hanging on the end. That's all very well now, Santa. That's all very well now, Santa, but just look at your clothes. Look at those gloves. They're at least 50 years old.
Oh, ho, ho. Maybe they are a little old, but I'll make them last for another 25 years.
Now get to work, Santa. Melvin. Melvin, you're supposed to say, now get to work.
Well, now let's get to work. We have all things to do, you know, now.
Scene 2, the same evening in the living room of the Baker home. Enter Mr. Baker. Anybody home? Dinner will be ready in a minute, dear.
Oh, hello, Dad. Say, I wanted to ask you if I could have some more money to buy another Christmas present.
Why, you've already borrowed quite a little over your usual allowance, Billy. I thought you'd bought all your presents.
Well, not exactly. You see, well, I wanted to buy a present for Santa.
What? A present for Santa? Well, now that's just silly. He doesn't get presents, he gives them.
Well, I know, but gosh, I had an awfully funny dream last night, and I want to get Santa a pair of gloves. Please let me have the money. I'll pay you back. Honest, I will.
Oh, all right. Now run along and wash your hands before dinner. A present for Santa. Indeed.
What are you mumbling about?
Billy wants to buy a pair of gloves for Santa. Imagine that. Scene 3, the Baker living room, late Christmas Eve. Santa steps down the chimney accompanied by Snowball.
Oh, this is a pleasant room here. Now, let's see. Now, this here is the Baker's living room. All right. All right, Snowball, pull out the baker's dozen.
Ha, ha, ha. Santa, how can you still joke after all the hard work you've done tonight? I'm worried about you. Really, I am. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, wish we'll get that work done quick. Why, look at this. A pair of gloves for Santa from Billy Baker? Why, some people are worried about the younger generation. I'm worried about the older generation.
the next morning in the Baker home. Mr. and Mrs. Baker are picking up the gay wrappings left from the gifts. Billy did seem to enjoy his gifts, didn't he? Where is he now?
Oh, he's getting all slicked up for church.
He didn't seem to mind about Santa not taking those gloves.
Oh, that was clever of you, dear, letting him put them here for Santa.
Why, they're right here by the fireplace and... Well, I'll be switched. Look at these old moth-eaten gloves. Full of holes. Where did they come from?
Why, I suppose Billy's playing a trick on us. But look at the size of them. Where did they come from? And look, am I seeing things? In the fireplace. In the ashes. Footprints. A huge one and a tiny one going into the fireplace.
This is ridiculous. We know all about Santa Claus.
I'm not so sure of what I know.
Those footprints. I don't understand it. Say, I don't know. Maybe you're right. What if Billy is right? Maybe what all the world needs is the perfect faith of a child.
Hey, that was a humdinger. Yes, sirree, Patrick. Now, what's next round here?
Well, Joe, you're next on the program. It says Joe Kelly.
Oh, well, there's a little mistake there. That's a different Joe Kelly.
Different Joe
yes,
Kelly?
Yes, it's my little 11 weeks old grandson.
Well,
Joe
is he here today, Joe?
Is he here? Well, I should say so. And here he is right here. Well, come on, son. Say something to all the folks out there, all the other little babies. Yes, say something to them. Give a great big plug for Alka-Seltzer. Now, come on. After all, we're coast to coast on NBC. I knew he was Oh, that's cute. Of course, that's only his grandfather speaking. Yes, sir. Well, now let's see what's next here. Oh, yeah. Say, Joel, what are you going to do for your part of the program?
Well, I'm not quite a piano player, but I'm stuck with the piano, so I'll do my best.
Oh, fine. Well, what are you going to play for it?
Condensation of Waltz in E-flat by Duran.
Oh, that'll be dandy. All right, get over there at the piano. Now, everybody be real quiet. You too, Joe the Third. Thank you, Joel. That was mighty fine. Now, Melvin, I wonder if you will tell us in your own words the story of the first Christmas. Would you do that for me?
Sure, I will. I'd be glad to.
All right.
Once Joseph and Mary were traveling to a little town called Bethlehem. And Joseph walked and Mary rode a donkey. So Mary became pretty tired by that time, and so Joseph tried one hotel and another, but none of them had no room. And it was the same thing went on until finally they came to the last one, and the man said, I have no room for you in this here hotel, but you can sleep in my stable. So they went. They were very glad to find a place to sleep, and they went. so Joseph made a nice bed out of straw for Mary, and Mary lay down, and also, and just at that minute, a bright star showed of Bethlehem. And just then, at that moment, a little baby infant Jesus was born. And also, 3 wise men were studying the stars, and they saw that bright one. So they went. They said, could this be the star that we've been looking for, searching for? And could that be the star of Jesus? So they went and followed till it finally showed down. And they went in, and sure enough, there it was. It was little infant Jesus laying down, and Mary and Joseph were watching the little baby, and they brought gold and myrrh, some other incense. That was it.
Well, fine. That was just fine. Wasn't that good for a little 5-year-old? Well, Lonnie, it's your turn now, and what surprise do you have for us?
Well, over this week I composed a little Christmas carol that I'd like to sing for you.
Oh.
I call it The Guiding Star.
Oh, well, let's listen to it. Now, everybody be real quiet. Lonnie's sitting down at the piano. All right, fine.
The brilliant star of Bethlehem shone on that holy day, and guided wise men to the spot where the tiny baby lay. And angels came from heaven above, the tidings glad to sing, to shepherds who had gathered round to worship their new King. The joyous news that reached the world on that first Christmas day has spread throughout the entire earth to guide men on their way. When hope is low, man must but look to that bright star again, to have his faith reborn with peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
Thank you, Lonnie. That was fine. I'm so proud of all of you kids. You know, folks, it's been a tradition on the Quiz Kids program to close our Christmas broadcast with a prayer. And right now, I'd like to ask little 5-year-old Melvin to lead us in a Christmas prayer.
Dear God, we thank you for everything you have given us. And please take care of all the sick and hungry people all over the world. And dear God, please especially take care of the orphans, because they have no mother and daddy like we have. So dear God, will you please take care of them? Thank you for my nice baby brother, because not everyone has a nice baby brother like that. Amen.
Well, thank you, Melvin. That was a beautiful prayer and a perfect ending for our Christmas program. And I want to thank all you quiz kids for making it such a fine program.
The Miles Laboratories, makers of Alka-Seltzer and One-A-Day brand vitamins, want to extend the best wishes of the season to you and yours. May you enjoy a very happy Christmas. Today's Quiz Kids program came to you from the living room of Joe Kelly's home in Chicago. This is Bob Murphy speaking.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with I Feel a Song coming on. It's in the air around you. It's written in people's faces. It's anywhere and everywhere. The wonderful excitement that comes with Christmas week. Now, when spirits are high and appetites are keen, Jell-O is the perfect dessert for you to serve. For Jell-O's festive, shining colors, its delicious fresh fruit flavor are right in keeping with the gaiety of the season. So let Jell-O help you celebrate your holidays. Serve it in any one of its 6 delicious flavors. Flavors unusually rich because they come from fresh, ripe fruit. But just remember that there is only one Jell-O, and only Jell-O brings you that extra rich fruit flavor. So make no mistake. Insist on the real thing. Insist on genuine Jell-O. And now we bring you a man who stands for good, wholesome entertainment, who stands for bright, sparkling humor. In fact, a man who stands for almost anything, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Standing Jack Benny talking. Listen, Don, I may be easygoing and all that, but there's a limit to just how much I will stand. I think you found that out the past few weeks.
But I've never really seen you blow up, Jack.
Well, that's because I managed to keep myself under control. But if I ever lose my temper, well, I just hope I'm not around when it happens.
Oh, Jack, you haven't such a temper. Why, I've heard you argue with Phil Harris, and you've been as gentle as a lamb.
Yes, Don, but you'll never know the battle that goes on inside of me. How I have to fight to hold myself back.
Well, that's generally a nice, safe quarrel.
Yes.
Jack, I don't want to interfere, but I do think that since Christmas is so near that you and Phil ought to make up.
No, Don. The wound is too deep. You see, you only know me on the surface, but there are really 2 Jack Bennys. There's the patient, amiable, fun-loving fellow you see around the studio. And then there's that other me. Stark, savage, primitive. A throwback to the Stone Age. I tell you, Don, one minute I'm as meek as a mouse, and then all of a sudden I'm Vesuvius erupting.
My.
Well, anyway, I'm through coddling people around here, and that goes for Phil Harris or anybody else. You know, you can go just so far, and then the worm turns.
You're right, Jack.
I'll say I am.
Hello, worm.
Well, I haven't turned yet. You better watch your step, too, Mary. What I just said about Phil goes for everybody on this program.
I'm not worried about you. I've got my own troubles. You know, I just had an awful fight with myself.
You did?
You may not know it, Jack, but there are 2 Mary Livingstons.
Oh, there are?
Yes. There's the quiet, home-loving me, who spends her time in the kitchen.
I see.
And then there's the other me, wild, reckless, with a yen for caviar and cheap jewelry.
Oh, so you've got a dual personality, too?
Have I? I'm a regular Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
Well, say, Don, did Phil get here yet?
Oh, yes, Jack. He's right on time tonight.
He must have read my thoughts last week. Believe me, it's good to put your foot down once in a while.
Hello, Mary. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Kenny. Say, what kind of a hello was that?
That was my other self talking.
Hey, Don, look who's got another self.
Oh, yeah? I've got 2 me's, too.
Oh, you have, huh?
Sure. There's one me that you all know around the studio, good-natured, dumb, and unconscious.
Oh.
And then there's the real me, smart, bright, and witty.
Why don't you bring him around sometime?
Oh, Mary, leave him alone.
That guy don't know enough to come in out of the rain.
He does, too.
Come in where?
Forget it, Kenny. It doesn't rain in California anyway.
It doesn't?
No.
Then what keeps falling out of the sky? Orange juice?
Well, maybe the weather has a dual personality, too. You know, there are 2 sides to everything and everyone. Don't you think so, Don?
Positively. And now that you brought it up, you know, Jack, you may not believe this, but there are really 2 Don Wilsons.
Oh, I can see that, Don. But a little dieting will take care of that, you know.
Oh, you're laughing at my expanse.
No. I'm serious.
But all kidding aside, I too have another self. Oh. There's the quiet, retiring me who just says, Jell-O is the fastest-selling gelatin dessert in the world, and every day millions of people eat it.
I see.
And then there's that other me that says the Jell-O has 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Why, Don, you frightened me. Quick, Playboy! Don, go back to your mother and keep You Can Tell She Comes from Dixie, conducted by Phil Harris, who also has a dual personality. By that I mean he's a two-timer. During every number, he waves one hand at the orchestra and the other at the girls in the audience. And it's got to stop.
All right, I'll quit waving at the orchestra.
Well, at least that'll help the music. Or you've even poisoned the boys in the band against me.
I have not.
You haven't? Then why don't they laugh at my joke?
Why don't you say something funny?
I don't want to establish a precedent around here, that's why.
That's awfully good. Laugh at him, boys.
Well, at least they were together. That's more than I can say about their music. Zowie!
What happened? Jack thought he said something funny.
It's a fine bunch I'm associated with.
What's the matter with you, Jack? Every year you pick a fight with us.
Well, what about it?
Last year it was just before Christmas, too.
Well, I like to do my Christmas scrapping early.
Jack, why don't you consider my suggestion and make up with Phil? How about it, Phil?
Well, I'm willing if that horseless cowboy is.
Yeah? Well, I'm not a horseless cowboy.
No, you're a brainless master of ceremonies.
Oh, yeah? That means fight in my country. I wish we were there.
Gee, a little geography saves Jack a lot of trouble.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of trouble right now if it wasn't that Kenny has to sing his songs.
I can wait, Jack.
You sing when you're supposed to, not when you're ready.
Oh, this thing's getting worse and worse. Come on, Jack. Now make up with Phil. What do you say?
No, Don. I realize this is the time of year when we must forgive and forget. But even this holiday spirit cannot erase the scar that has been etched into my heart.
Oh, Jack, you're making a scar out of a molehill.
No, I'm not. Did you ever hear that famous poem by Ludwig Schmutz?
Change authors
that
tonight.
Poem called Bear It With a Grin?
No.
Well, it goes something like this. When your soul is torn asunder by some fellow's thoughtless blunder, and your trouble deep down under, bear it with a grin. When he makes your life so dreary, and your eyes with tears are bleary, and you're oh so gosh darn weary, ha ha, bear it with a grin.
Manny.
So if your false friend should forsake you, and a fool he tries to make you, point at him and say, you snake, you. And
say it with a groan.
Thank you. Well, I guess you know how I feel about it now, Don. Sing, Kenny.
And my poems are supposed to be bad.
so jealous of the moon, jealous of a summer night in June. Why can they remain beside my darling while I must leave so soon? Summer night, starry sky, you can see my sweetheart with 1,000 eyes. Why have I only two to behold 1,000 charms I idolize? Summer night, you are right to come in her window when the day is through. She tells you all her thoughts. Won't you tell me whom she loves? Summer night, oh how I wish I knew.
That was Summer Night, sung by Kenny Baker. And tonight it seemed to have an extra touch of tenderness. But there's one thing that puzzles me, Kenny. How can you say so many dumb things and yet sing so sweetly?
Well, I don't have to think when I sing.
Oh.
I'll bet he's got a record in his mouth.
I doubt it.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Don.
I don't want to interrupt the program, but I may not get to see you again until after Christmas.
That's right.
Well, to come to the point, Jack, Mary, Kenny, and I got together and bought you a little Christmas present, which I hope you'll like.
Well, thanks, Don. And Mary. You too, Kenny.
Oh, you're welcome. Here you are, Jack.
Gee, I imagine it's something awfully nice. Well. Gee, this is a surprise. A gold button hook.
Uh-huh.
Say, that'll come in handy. Of course, I haven't worn button shoes in a long time, but if they ever come back, boy, I'll be all set.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Jack.
It's a beautiful button hook. And gold, too.
Yeah, and there's a toothpick on one end.
Oh, there sure is. Well.
If Keith ever come back, you'll be all set.
Well, thanks, kids. I sure appreciate this. Gee, you must have gone back 20 years to get it.
Oh, it wasn't any trouble, Jack.
No, I imagine it wasn't. Now, gather around, everybody. It's my turn to play Santa Claus. I got a little surprise for most all of you. Here's a little gift for you, Kenny. A beautiful red silk necktie.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Isn't it pretty?
Gee. You know, this looks like the same tie I gave you last year.
Well, it isn't. It's different.
Yeah, it's got spots on it now.
Quiet. He can have it cleaned. And, Don, here's a present for you. It's something I know you'll love.
What is it?
A box of genuine Jell-O.
Oh, goody!
Yeah, I knew
you know,
it.
my wife's going to give me a sliced pineapple for Christmas, and they'll go swell together.
Oh, they sure will.
Oh, Jack.
What?
Where's the present I'm going to exchange?
Here, and don't be funny. Change.
What is it?
What is it? Can't you see? It's an earring.
An earring?
Yeah.
One earring? Where's the other one?
Well, there'll be other Christmases, won't there?
This is a fine present. Now I'll be lopsided.
Yeah. Put it on, Mary. That's the style now anyway. One earring.
Jack, didn't you forget somebody?
Not anybody that didn't forget me. But to show you the difference in characters, come here, Mary. Here's a present for him. You give it to him.
Okay. Here, Phil. Jack told me to give you this Christmas present.
What is it? It's a curling iron.
A curling iron?
Yes.
Thanks, only my hair is naturally curly.
Well, if it ever straightens out, you'll be all set. And incidentally, it's time for your next number, so stop grinning at the girls in the audience and play.
All right, Simon.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. I may be exacting, but I'm no Simon Legree.
I meant Simple Simon.
Oh. Now I'm stumped. Well, go ahead and play a number, smarty pants. Say, Mary, how do you like that earring I gave you?
Fine. My ear's turning green already.
Some Christmas spirit around here.
Some present, too.
Yes. Mutiny in the Brass Section, played by Curly Harris, the kink of jazz. And incidentally, folks, not that I care, but evidently Mr. Harris has never heard that it's better to give than to receive. Imagine a guy not reciprocating after you've given him a swell curling iron.
Swell? It isn't even electric.
I suppose you like Benjamin Franklin to autograph it. What a guy. And now, folks, this being our last program before Christmas.
That's me, Brooksy.
Oh, well, come in.
Hello, Dick Barney.
Hello, Patsy. Hey, it's good to see you again. How'd you happen to drop in?
Well, it's the holiday season, and I'm bringing Yuletime greetings.
Well, thanks. What are you doing these days, Patsy?
Can you read Hengel?
Of course I can read English.
Then here's my card.
Pat C. Flick. Suit, clothes, and Merry Christmas. So you're in the clothing business now, huh?
Yes, sir. And, Dick, to start a ball rolling, I brought you a Christmas present.
Well, that's very nice of you, Patsy, but you didn't have to do it.
Don't mention it, cutie. I'm sentimental.
Oh, look at this, a brand new suit. Is it really a present for me?
It's not from Arlene Dietrich.
Well, it sure is a nice gesture. Hey, wait a minute. There's only the pants and vest here. Where's the coat?
That'll cost you $75.
I see. Well, I don't need a new suit.
You don't need a suit. Look at that coat you're wearing.
What's wrong with it?
Potatoes I wouldn't put in that bag.
Oh, you wouldn't, eh?
And look at the cheap material. You call this a bucket? See?
Hey, wait a minute.
Hold on there. What are you doing to Jack?
Don't interrupt the sale.
Say, you've got a lot of nerve.
And look at this sleeve. Now, is that a coat I have?
Not now, it isn't. No.
And look at those pants.
Shall I leave the room, Jack?
No, this has gone far enough. Here, take back your pants and vest and get out of here.
Well, that's Chisler. You give a guy a present and he don't even reciprocate.
Well, goodbye and Happy New Year.
Who needs it? Hey!
Look at my coat all ripped and torn. I got a date with a doll right after the program. Now, what are you laughing at?
If it's a rag doll, you're all set.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, this being our last program before Christmas, tonight we are going... What's that? Hello, Buck. Well, Sheriff Andy Devine. Glad to see you, Andy.
Glad to see you too, Buck.
What brings you here tonight?
Well, ain't you and me going out looking for Cactus Face Elmer, the outlaw?
Doggone it, Andy. We got to arguing and talking up here tonight and giving out presents. I'm afraid we won't be able to do Buck Benny Rides again until next Sunday.
Oh, shucks. Yeah. And I'm all dressed up in my cowboy suit.
Well, don't take it so hard. Come over next Sunday and you can play with us. Sorry you had to make this long trip, Andy.
Well, I didn't mind coming over. I'm kind of stuck on Mary, you know.
Stop blushing, Andy.
I ain't blushing. I'm boiling.
Well, Andy, I'm sorry about Buck Benny. I really am.
Well, I'm sure disappointed, too.
I know how you feel.
Oh, doggone it. But you know, Buck, that reminds me of a poem by Ludwig Schmutz.
Good old Schmutzy. Good old Schmutzy. By Ludwig, huh?
Yes, sir, and it goes something like this. When you're just a buckaroo and Buck Benny you cannot do, don't feel bad and don't feel blue. Just bear it with a grin.
Those are real sentiments, Andy. Ludwig sure went to town on that one, huh?
Well, so long, Buck. See you next week.
So long, Andy.
So long.
He sure has a lot of fun, doesn't he, huh? Well, I got to run along now, fellas. The program is nearly over anyway. I don't think you need me here any longer tonight, and besides, I've got a date, so I'm going to go. Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Jack, and a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. So long, Don. Goodbye, Kenny.
Merry Christmas, Jack.
Same to you. Well, so long.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah?
Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you, Phil. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Jack. I want to talk to you.
Well, hurry up. I've got a date.
Listen, Jack, I think we've both been acting like a couple of kids. But I want to tell you one thing, and it comes right from my heart. I've been with you 12 weeks now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
You wouldn't know it.
Of course, sometimes you've tried to act hard-boiled, but deep down underneath, you're a regular guy.
Oh, I am I? Well, I'm going.
Wait a minute, Jack. Just to show you how I feel about you, here's a little Christmas present.
Thanks.
Well, why don't you open it?
Oh, you open it. It's probably some trick.
Gee, I hope you like it, Jack.
Oh, I already said thanks.
Gee, look, fellas.
Gosh, gee whiz.
Oh, Jack, look. Why, it's the most beautiful watch I've ever seen.
I've got a watch.
And look at that platinum case and diamonds all around it.
I thought so. If I wear that, somebody will hold me up and hit me over the head.
Oh, gee, it's beautiful, Phil.
Oh, it certainly is.
Oh, Jack, that's really something.
Gee, it is pretty, isn't it? Gee, platinum and diamonds all around it. Gee, thanks, Phil.
You're welcome, Jack.
Oh, boy, that is gorgeous, huh? Well, Phil, I hardly know what to say now. I feel so... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, forget about it, Jack.
Gee, I wish I'd have bought you an electric iron now. Boy, I'll bet this must have set you back plenty, huh, Phil?
Well, just don't fire me for about 2 years.
Well, Phil, all I can say is I'm terribly sorry for everything that happened, and see if I can ever do anything for you. And if you ever want to know what time it is, don't hesitate to ask me.
I don't value anything, Jack, as much as I do your friendship.
Gee, I didn't know you felt that way. See, but all I can say is, well, thanks, Phil. Oh, you're welcome, Jack. Merry Christmas.
Come on, fellas. Come on. Pull yourselves together. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could all be here to witness this touching display of friendship. In fact, I personally am so moved that I can hardly say that Jell-O is the most tempting gelatin to touch the world. So just be sure to get the genuine Jell-O with the big red letters on the bottom. Is there a Santa Claus? You bet your life there is, and you'll be more certain of it than ever once you taste Jell-O chocolate pudding. It's the best that comes your way since the old days when your grandmother made chocolate pudding. Smoother, creamier, more chocolatey with a grand homemade flavor. That's Jell-O chocolate pudding. And it's amazingly easy and inexpensive to make. Here's all you do. Mix the contents of one package with some milk in the top of your cool, and this delicious pudding is all ready to be served in your sherbet glasses. And if you want to give it an extra special Christmas touch, add some raisins or toasted nuts or both. You'll get 6 luscious servings from each package of Jell-O chocolate pudding, which sells for the same low price as Jell-O. Ask your grocer about it tomorrow. If he hasn't put it in stock yet, be sure he orders it for you. Remember the name, Jell-O chocolate pudding.
The last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series. And we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time when you will hear our next installment of Buck Benny Rides Again. Well, fellas, I was going out on a party tonight, but I'd much rather be with a gang. Come on, let's all go out and make whoopee.
Okay.
How about you, Phil?
Thanks, Jack, but I've already got a date tonight.
Oh, bring her along. And if she's got a girlfriend, bring her along for me.
She has, Jack, but her girlfriend isn't very pretty.
Oh, I don't care. Filthy, as long as I'm with you.
And Phil don't care as long as he's with a girl.
Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas.
Jell-O.
The tune, Here's Love in Your Eyes, from the big broadcast of 1937. Summer Night is from Sing Me a Love Song. The Jell-O program comes to you over the Red Network from the Hollywood studios of the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles, Earl C. Anthony, Incorporated. 15 seconds before 9.